My name is Josh Lamora.
Hi, my name is Zach Acosta.
My name is Donovan Benoit.
This is Rob Emery.
My name is Zach Daniels.
My name is Max Troiani. And you're watching
the Birds Broadcasting Network.
You're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
Finally, we can actually say confidently that we get to play baseball. Hello, everybody. Welcome into Eldridge Park and welcome into Bird's Eye View. I'm Scotty Gange alongside Alec Hendon. Alec, the Firebirds, 2 straight days without playing ball, but here we are against the Bourne Braves.
Scotty, the sun has finally emerged back here in Cape Cod. It's a beautiful, muggy day. I have to.
Is it beautiful or muggy?
It's a little bit of both at this point. I'm so used to the dry. I'm finally becoming accustomed to this mugginess a little bit, and it's probably going to get worse as the weekend goes on. But as for today, a little breeze making it all a little better. I know we wanted to do a little lavalier mic action, but the wind wasn't cooperating today. So when the wind does go away, we're going to get a little creative with this. But because Scotty brings it every time.
Yeah, calling out the fact that we couldn't do something. I guess we'll do that. But hey, 2 days ago, the Firebirds couldn't do something, and that was finish a baseball game. They were leading 2-0 in the 3rd inning against the Chatham Anglers. There was lightning, 2 lightning delays, called that game and called it to be a postponement. Yesterday, rain up in Harwich, could not even touch that game, couldn't even start it at all. So 2 straight days couldn't play. The end of the weekend is going to feature the All-Star game with Noah Skiro, Jared Schuster, and Max Troiani, all representing the Orleans Firebirds here on Sunday at 6 p.m. But tonight, it's the Bourne Braves, a 7 p.m. game. You see, that's why we've got this little screen with baseballs flying by us. But the Bourne Braves are coming into town. What do they bring to the table?
Well, it's a team the Firebirds have not seen since the first week of the season, where they opened up against the Braves at Eldridge Park and then went to Dorn Park for a doubleheader to cap that first weekend of the season. So they haven't seen both these teams in a while. Bourne currently sitting in 4th in the West Division. They haven't had too impressive of a season, a little bit up and down, but lucky for them, they have Hyannis in their division. So I think, talking to their media members, they can lock up a postseason spot as soon as Wednesday of this upcoming week. But since the Firebirds have seen them, the Firebirds have stayed their course of being a tremendous pitching team. And Scotty, the Firebirds have played the Braves in 3 games. You know how many runs they have allowed total in those 3 games? 2. And it's a little tough when you're not 3-0 against them and you're only 2-1. So expect the Firebirds pitching staff to once again dominate. They're going to get a new arm today with Jake Eater, who wasn't here for the first 3 matchups between these teams.
Yeah, so Jake Eater was supposed to pitch yesterday up in Harwich, and of course could not as the rain fell from the sky. The Firebirds were not allowed to play baseball. And it's funny you say only 2 runs allowed in 3 games. It's kind of like how the Firebirds have been against every single team this year. They lead the Cape League with 6 shutout games and 6 shutout wins. So their pitching has been absolutely outstanding. Jake Eater, you mentioned him earlier. What more do we know about him?
Well, Jake, we saw him the other night. He threw 4 shutout innings. It was a little bit of a while ago just because of all this rain out and the weather, but he was tremendous. He really filled the strike zone up, threw a lot of strikes, was really tremendous with his breaking ball. Big, tall left-hander, imposing force on the mound, and he can be a very uncomfortable at bat for a lot of hitters, and I think that's something that he really takes advantage of. And if he's on his own, on his game night and in the strike zone, it could be a long night for Bourne.
Could be a long night for Bourne. We'll have to wait and see, of course, Jake Eater again on the mound. We're going to talk to some of the guys on the Bourne media team coming up right after this.
the Bourne Braves. We welcome you here to gorgeous Orleans, Massachusetts. Alongside my broadcast partner, Thomas Zinzarella, I'm Josh White. Thomas, the Birds haven't lost in more than a week. Now, granted, that's been aided by a couple rainouts, a tie, but the Birds are starting to play some good baseball heading down the stretch in July.
Yeah, you know, you're exactly right. The last official game that the Firebirds actually played, again, the last 2 nights have been lightning out and rained out. Yesterday in Harwich was against Katuitt, where it was a pitcher's duel for pretty much almost 8 innings before the Firebirds scored a run in the bottom of the 8th inning. Again, outstanding pitching from the starting rotation from Schuster, then followed by Escada, Wallace, and Pellerin closed things down in the 9th inning. And that one run was manufactured by a couple good ABs and a few walks, hustling out on infield singles, and then a perfect bunt by Kokoska.
It will be Jake Eder on the hill today for the Orleans Firebirds. Big southpaw out of Vanderbilt. Just his 3rd appearance of the summer, 2nd start. He's pitched 5 scoreless innings for the Birds, including 4 against Harwich, coming 9 days ago at Eldridge Park. Bourne Braves in town. Cody Morissette, second baseman from Boston College, steps in from the left side. Southpaw Eder gets the sign, a deep breath, wheels and deals the first pitch of the evening. Fastball skied down the left side and out of play, and we are underway at 7 o'clock on the dot. Firebirds this summer, 15-11-3, squarely in the 3rd spot in the East Division. The Bourne Braves, 13-17. 0-1 coming. Fastball popped into shallow left field. Left fielder Zach Kokoska ranging back to his right. Cam Sundrit makes the two-handed grab for the first out of the evening.
And Kokoska moving quite a bit there towards the latter part of that play. The wind blowing in from center field towards the left field poles. So that ball is continuing to take off and slicing away from the left-hander Morissette. But Kokoska doing a good job out there circumventing the Cape wind.
So Morissette falls to 0 for 7 this summer against the Firebirds. Xavier Warren the batter. First pitch from Eder. Fastball downstairs for ball 1. 4th and final meeting between these two sides. The first 3 came in the first week of the summer. Birds took the opening one on opening night back on June 10th, 2-0. 1 out. Fastball hit on a rocket on the ground to the left side. Backhanded by the shortstop Murray. Throw on the run. Stretched by Escara in time. Tanner Murray continues to flash the leather and throws out the speedy Xavier Warren for the 2nd out of the inning.
Well, he's been doing it all year long, and why not continue it today here at Eldridge Park? Spectacular play throwing across the body on the run. Throws a pretty good ball over there. Escara stretches in time to retire Xavier Warren.
So 2 quick outs for Eder, and now Judd Fabian, the center fielder from Florida, steps in from the right side. First pitch from the southpaw. Fastball right down the chute for strike 1. 2 quick outs in the top of the first. Nothing doing between the Birds and the Braves. Let's give you the Orleans defensive alignment. The outfield from left to right. All Zacks. Zach Kokoska, Zach Daniels, and Zach Britton. 0-1. Breaking ball ties up Fabian, and it's 0-2. Infield tonight for Kelly Nicholson's club. Eddie McCabe at 3rd. Tanner Murray, the shortstop. Shea Whitcomb at 2nd. Trevin Escara, a late addition into the lineup. He'll play first. And Rob Emery, the battery mate to Jake Eder. 0-2 from Eder. Fastball up in the zone. Waved out and missed. Strike 3. A 1-2-3 inning for Jake Eder. The southpaw continues to dominate on the bump. As the Birds set down the Braves in order, we'll head to the home half of the first at Eldridge Park with the Braves and the Firebirds scoreless. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. down the Bourne Braves on just 7 pitches. Now the Firebirds offense will try and get going against Colby Dunlop, who struggled this summer. The right-hander 0-1 with a .462 ERA. And this Firebirds offense that has started to heat up will try and get things going and give the Birds an early lead. Zach Kokoska, the left fielder, will lead things off tonight for the Firebirds as you see the lineup on the screen. First time this season, the Birds have had the all-Zach outfield, 2 left-handed swingers at the top. Kokoska digs in, first pitch from Dunlop. Fastball on the inside corner, called strike 1. Kokoska hitting .275 this summer, 1 homer and 4 RBIs. Bumped up to the leadoff spot after hitting in the 2-hole for the last week or so. 0-1. Breaking ball skips in low. It's 1-1. Seems like Kelly Nicholson starting to look at the numbers a little more as the summer wanes on. Kokoska hitting .389 when leading off innings. 1-1 chop to the left side. The shortstop Glewenke comes on. Those on the run in time, picked out of the dirt by Beloso for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, Kokoska is a guy that has been around the top of the order, but as you mentioned, it's better to lead off the inning, and it's a nice compliment as well. You go Kokoska, Britt, and then Triani. Probably 3 of your best hitters in this lineup, but again, this is a lineup that's starting to heat up at the plate. A guy like Shea Whitcomb, middle of the order, guy McCabe and Murray. This lineup could be very deep for the Firebirds as we head towards the playoffs.
Firebirds just 6th in batting average so far this summer. First pitch to Zach Britton. Breaking ball taken on the inside corner for strike 1. Britton, the right fielder from Louisville. Another guy that's starting to turn things around at the plate. That average up to .283. 0-1 from Dunlop. Another breaker catches the inside corner, and it's 0-2. Firebirds nothing, Braves nothing. 1 away in the last of the first. Britton coming off a 1-for-4 night at the dish. That was 3 days ago against Kitsui. Firebirds' last official game. 0-2. Fastball misses above the letters, and it's 1-2. Friday night Reds for the Orleans Firebirds. White lettering across the chest, written in Cape Cod. Birds with the camo caps, with the Braves going their road navy blues. 1-2 from Dunlop. Breaking ball stays up and away. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I'm also sporting my red shirt Friday socks as well.
Wow, I love it, Thomas. Very spirited,
Taking
even
full
at the
effect
broadcast
here.
table.
Of course.
Dunlop rocks and fires 2-2. Breaking ball hit on the screws right through the right side for a base hit. Zach Britton continues his hot stretch, and he picks up the first base knock of the night.
Again, I mentioned this lineup is really starting to heat up, and it was that 2-home run game for Zach Britton that really got things going for him. He just has continued to hit since. And a guy like Max Trani at the dish who had 2 RBIs taken away from him in Jeddah 2 nights ago.
So Max Troiani, the DH from Bentley, lone Firebirds all-star in the lineup, checks in. First pitch. Breaking ball fisted out, a play down the right side for strike 1. Trani hitting .344. That's 5th in the league so far. He's reached base in 14 straight ball games. But what makes this story so amazing is he was supposed to be here for just 2 weeks. Division II player out of Bentley. 0-1. Fastball runs high and tight, and it's 1-1. Trani, an investment internship that he had to put on halt and said, hey, you know what? I'm going to live out this baseball dream. Things have gone well for Kelly Nicholson, star outfielder. Righty on righty matchup with 1 away, 1-1. Breaker skips in low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Let's give you the Braves defensive alignment. The outfield from left to right. Brendan Rivoli, Judd Fabian, and Kyler Fedko. The infield, Xavier Warren at third. Jimmy Glewenke, the shortstop. Cody Morris set at second. Cade Beloso at first. And the battery mate is Jackson Greer. Check on Britton at first base, and he's back in safely.
Well, it seems like every year there's always a guy like Trani, a story like that, a cool story, and glad that we have Trani on our team.
Dunlop set 2-1. Fastball catches the inside corner. Trani agrees. It's 2-2. Mark Delaney calling balls in strikes. Kyler Fecto at first, and Rick Antonio at third. Runner on first with 1 down in the bottom of the first at Eldridge Park. Nothing between these two sides. 2-2. Britton running. Fastball shot to the right side for a base hit. Britton charges around second. He'll go into third easily without a throw. First and third, the Birds go back-to-back singles, and the Orleans offense is humming early once again.
Well, that might be the first time this year. Again, that Firebirds haven't really executed a hit and run, but that was textbook right there. Trani just slashes one through the hole on the right side. With Britton running, he'll take third base as well, and the Firebirds have something brewing here in the first.
So now a chance for Trevin Esqueda, who is a late addition to this Birds lineup today. Raymond Gill penciled in as the first baseman and cleanup man, but scratched after batting practice. So Esqueda just his 7th start of this summer, batting a .182. Braves playing back for 2, conceding the run. Righty on lefty matchup, first pitch, fastball hit slowly to the right side. Second baseman Morissette charges in. Only plays the first, it's in time. But charging home from third is Zach Britton, and the Birds are on the board. It's 1-0.
Well, sometimes that's all you need, a slow ground ball towards Morissette over at second. Can't turn 2 with Trani running hard, and plates a run for the Birds. That's how you manufacture a run.
So that's the way the game of baseball works. Sometimes it's the guy who's added in late, brings home the first run. So Shea Whitcomb, the second baseman from UC San Diego, steps in from the right side. Dunlap set for the first base side of the rubber. First pitch home. Fastball misses low for ball 1. Trani aboard at second with 2 down. He reached with a single. Another single for Max Troiani. It's his 32nd of the summer. That leads the league. Whitcomb, a .271 hitter, 3 homers and 9 RBIs. Dunlap set the belt, checks on Troiani at second, 1-0 home. Fastball fisted into shallow left center field. Shortstop Glowacki coming out. Center fielder Fabian coming on. He makes the catch in the basket at the chest for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Firebirds able to tack home a run on the RBI ground up by Trevin Esquera. Orleans scores 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. After 1, it's Orleans 1, Bourne nothing. And let's send it over to our sideline reporter, Scotty Gage, for his observations of the ballgame. Not keys, but observations.
Yeah, they're more so observations, just things that, you look out for. If I give the keys, are you going to listen to me giving the keys? But there are things that I've noticed that are really, really crucial things to pay attention to today. First off, you just walked by. We're going to talk to him in a little bit. Mr. Firebird is in the building. He was here on Tuesday, but we were radio style on Tuesday because Fox College Sports Network had the TV set up here, so we were radio. So we are going to get him on our broadcast sometime tonight and hear the whole backstory of Mr. Firebird. It's really, really interesting. Also, something that we got to take care of and really understand before the remainder of this game goes through is the fact that the past 2 games, of course, the Firebirds did not play because of lightning, and then last night because of rain. I got here at around noon. I was walking by the field about to go somewhere else, and all the coaching staff was out there laying new dirt, working on the field, working on the outfield, the infield, the grass, the batter's box. And I will say, around the batter's box in the batter's circle, it was a massive, massive puddle. So those guys were working from about 11:30 to 5:45, right before the teams were, I guess, hitting BP. So 11:30 to 4:45. It was an around-the-clock type of move to get this game played today. Of course, it's a beautiful day, but if the field was puddly and muddy and terrible, of course there wouldn't be baseball. So you got to tip your cap to the coaches on the Orleans Firebird staff. It was Ryan Erickson, Jamie Quinn, Matthew Troop, Jay Banfield. They were all out here. Kelly Nicholson as well. Everybody was working out on the field to make things right and make the baseball game that we have today. Also, of course, I know you guys are going to talk about this a little later. It's Military Appreciation Night in the Cape Cod Baseball League. We're going to touch on that in a little bit, but just take a look at the jerseys, the camo hats, the camo socks the Firebirds are rocking tonight as well. Really, really fun, guys. Beautiful night for baseball. We'll send it back to you.
Thank you, Scotty. Jake Eater back out for the Birds. First pitch to Jimmy Glowacki. Fastball skied down the right side for strike 1. Eater retired the Braves on just 7 pitches in order in the first, and after Trevin Esquera delivered an RBI ground out, the Birds are on top of the Braves 1-0. Glowacki, Beloso, and Poland in this inning for Harvey Shapiro's club. 0-1. Fastball popped right side. First baseman Esquera drifting into foul ground. Near the fence on the right field side, has room, makes the grab for the first out of the inning.
You mentioned Jake Eater able to go through the first inning of just 7 pitches while he's attacking these Bourne hitters early and often. Kind of what we've seen for a lot of these pitchers on this Firebird staff throughout the year. And Eater so far has been dominant on the mound.
So now Cade Beloso, one of 3 left-handed swingers in the lineup for the Braves, will step in. Beloso, first baseman out of LSU. SEC battle, first pitch from the southpaw from Vanderbilt. Fastball catch to the outside corner for strike 1. Firebirds 1, Braves nothing. 1 away in the top of the second inning. Eder a deep breath, 6'5" left-hander. Gets the sign, rocks and fires the 0-1 coming home. Fastball up in the tight, but Beloso fans through it. It's 0-2. Beloso 0 for his last 12, has that average down to 263. It's his 20th game for Bourne this summer. So being a late addition after the NCAA postseason. Eder staring down strikeout number 2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball drops in on the inner half, runs inside, and it's 1-2. Beloso, #1 first baseman out of Louisiana in his class a couple seasons ago. Just a rising sophomore for a Tigers program that found its way back into hosting in the postseason. 1-2. Fastball ripped down the right side, past the first base coach Aaron Meyer in foul ground. So we've seen Ryan Erickson sport the hands so far this summer. Meyer not able to on that hot shot down the right side.
Seems like Orleans coaching might have more hands than maybe any other team in the league.
They've got the upper hand, to say the least, pardon the pun. Lefty on lefty matchup with one away. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball on the outside corner, ring him up, strike 3. Sharp curveball from Eder, dropped on the outside part. He's set down the first 5 he's faced, and there's 2 down in the frame.
Well, just a perfect pitch sequence there by Eder. Then really just catches Beloso freezing on that pitch, and I'm sure if Tim Corbin was in the building, he would have loved that one.
Corbs was in fact at Chatham the other night, saw the Birds take a 2-0 lead, and then everything got washed out. First pitch to Jared Poland, a heater taken on the outside corner for strike 1. Orleans 1, Bourne 0, 2 down in the last of the second. Poland, the DH out of Louisville, steps back in from the right side. Here's the 0-1 from Eder. Breaking ball hit on the screws over the head of the shortstop Murray on a bounce in front of Zach Kokoska, and the Braves had their first hit of the night, as that snaps a streak of 5 retired in a row by Jake Eder.
Well, you know, sometime it had to end. It couldn't go on forever. Although we've been kind of spoiled by that this year in Orleans with some of the pitchers we have seen, and Schuster and Skiro and Seminaris, guys that in the middle go 3 innings without allowing a hit.
So Kyler Fedko will dig in to try and tie this ball game up. Bird struck first in the home half of that first inning on an RBI ground up by Trevin Esquera. First pitch from Eder. Fastball catches the outside corner for strike 1. Fedko hitting just $149 this summer, 1 for his last 13. His brother Christian on Harwich, an East Division All-Star. So Christian will have some bragging rights over Kyler, but the two Connecticut products on the Cape together. 0-1. Fastball up in the zone. Big rip from Fedko. Almost lost the helmet. That's 0-2.
I'm sure that household's a little competitive.
Probably just a touch.
Most are. Especially 2 guys that are going high D1 for baseball.
Runner on first with 2 away in the top of the second. 0-2. Fastball taken at the knees. Had some plate. Eder thought it was strike 3. Home plate umpire thought it missed low, and it's 1-2. So Eder just making his second start of the summer for Orleans, 3rd appearance. Out of the stretch, first time tonight, third base side, 1-2. Fastball spiked in the dirt, picked up by Rob Emery, and it's 2-2. Eder, former 34th round draft choice by the New York Mets back in 2017. Elected to go to Vanderbilt. Was the midweek starter his freshman year, then served only out of the bullpen this past season for the Commodores, helping Vanderbilt win the national championship, and now trying to get back in the weekend rotation. 2-2. Fastball not held on by Emery, just got a piece was Fedko. We'll do it again. So Eder already 2 strikeouts tonight. Struck out Judd Fabian on 3 pitches to end the first, then caught Cade Beloso looking in this frame. Firebirds lead the Braves 1-0 with Jared Poland aboard at first. Poland has yet to attempt a stolen base in his college career. He's going here, 2-2. Fastball corked down the right side and out of play, and we'll do it again. Gotta love the old broadcasters, Jenks, don't you?
I was just about to bring it up just because you said about, I believe, Alex Terrell back in Chatham. He went on the pitch. And then you mentioned it about Poland, and he runs on the pitch. So
So in 35 games at Louisville, Jared Poland did not attempt a stolen base. In the first 10 this summer, Jared Poland has not attempted a stolen base. When I open my big fat mouth, he attempts a stolen base. Bourne Braves, by the way, have stolen the fewest bases on the Cape, just 8 across their first 30 games. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball fouled off the glove of Emery to the backstop, and we'll do it again.
Well, especially with a left-hander on the mound like Eater as well. A little tough to run with a left-hander. Might take a little bit of a smaller lead at first base.
Now the Birds have rotated their catchers behind the plate. Rob Emery and David Avidia both getting their fair share of looks. But if you remember the last time Orleans played at Eldridge Park, it was Emery who gunned down a runner trying to steal second to end the game. 2-2, fastball cut on a miss, strike 3. Eater shot a glance right at Jared Poland walking off the mound as Eater fans Fedco, and the side is retired. Braves scored no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. After an inning and a half, Orleans 1, Bourne nothing. Check out some highlights from the Birds' last victory.
Yesterday, curveball slapped over towards the shortstop, back in it by Murray, throw it towards Onavidia, and they got him at the plate. A nice backhand by Murray, throws down Onavidia, who applies the tag, and they mow down Gonzalez at the plate.
Heads up play by Tanner Murray.
The 0-2, change up, cut on a miss for strike 3. Jared Schuster strikes out 2 in this half inning. First pitch misses low and out, gets past the catcher Kessler. Coming in is Daniels' throw. Where will it not be? And Daniels comes in to score. And the Firebirds have taken a lead here late in this ballgame in the 8th inning. Kicks and fires to 2, and Williams going time this time. Throw down from Emery, one hopper in towards the shortstop Murray, and they got him. A throw from Emery. Murray with the tag, and that's how the ballgame ends. Holy cow. What a ball game to be a part of here at Eldridge Park. Firebirds defeat the Cavaliers 1-0 as Williams gets caught stealing to end this ball game.
Welcome back to Eldridge Park. The Orleans Firebirds lead the Bourne Braves 1-0 as we head to the last of this second. Colby Dunlop, the right-hander, back out there for the Bourne Braves. Set to face 6, 7, and 8 in this Orleans lineup, starting with Eddie McCabe. Third baseman from Georgetown digs in from the right side. Dunlop, the right-hander from Connecticut, winds and fires. First pitch home. Looping breaking ball taken on the outside corner for strike 1. Birds got on the board in the bottom half of the first on an RBI groundout by Trevin Esqueda. First baseman out of Loyola Marymount, a late addition to this Birds lineup today. 0-1 to McCabe. Breaker tipped into Greer's glove, and it's 0-2. McCabe batting .262 this summer, has driven in 10 runs in 20 ball games. 0-2 from Dunlop. Here it comes. Breaking ball, high chopper to the left side. Third baseman Warren comes around the ball. Overhand throw, pulls the first baseman Beloso off the bag, and got right back on in time for the first out of the inning.
Well, that was a good tag by Beloso. Got a little bit of a wide throw towards the home plate side. But Warren, to be Beloso over at first base, able to just stay on the bag down there and apply the tag, just in case.
So now Tanner Murray and his entire cheering section back at Eldridge Park. More than 20 Murray family members in attendance once again in Orleans, Massachusetts. Shortstop for his first debut of the night. First pitch from Dunlop, bunted up the third base side. Warren's going to let it trickle up that line and just rolls foul for strike 1.
That was a good thought. Xavier Warren was playing back behind the bag, and Tanner Murray tries to butt one behind his back. Was a pretty good-looking bunt as well, but just tailed off foul as Warren just let it trickle to the left of the white chalk.
Firebirds 1, Braves nothing. One away in the last of the second. Murray just batting .219 this summer, but you can start to feel it turn around for Murray and this entire Firebirds club.
Well, especially if that cheering section keeps coming around. Might give him a little more beam himself with some confidence.
Had a pinch hit 2 RBI single a couple games back at Katuitt. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball lined into right field. Right fielder Fedko ranging to his left. Moving to the right field line, makes the grab for the second out of the frame. So make it 4 in a row retired by Colby Dunlap after serving up back-to-back base hits to the Birds. Now Rob Emery, the catcher from San Francisco, will stroll to the plate. Emery, another Firebird that's starting to get things rolling in the right direction, hitting .308 over his last 6 games. Redshirt senior, second go-around on the Cape. First pitch from Dunlap. Fastball runs high and tight for ball 1. Emery just 1 game last summer with the Harwich Mariners. Thought he was going to get a chance last night at White House Field to play. And of course, that game got washed out. 1-0, fastball corked to deep left field. Rivoli ranging back. Track wall, looks up. You can kiss it goodbye. Second home run of the summer for Rob Emery. And the Birds add another one. It's 2-0 here in the second inning.
And there it is once again. Rob Emery showing off the power. He's a big guy behind the dish, and wind coming in as well, and still puts it out over the left field fence. Again, Dunlop falling behind in the count. Emery makes him pay.
Emery continues to turn things in the right direction. That average now above .315 over the last 7 games, and has the Birds in front 2-0. Now Zach Daniels, center fielder from Tennessee, digs in. First pitch home. Breaking ball, he's swinging for the fence. This one drops down low, and Daniels chases for strike 1. It's just the Firebirds' 15th home run this season, and now game number 30. They were tied for the fewest home runs on the Cape with who else but the Bourne Braves. Birds are now in 9th. 0-1. Breaking ball catches the outside corner, and it's 0-2.
And a lot of those have been solo home runs as well. We haven't seen a lot of those grand slams, 3-run, even 2-run home runs.
I think the only 3-run home run we've seen this season was Zach Britton's.
Yeah.
3 nights ago for the Orleans Firebirds. 0-2. Breaking ball skips in low, and it's 1-2. So Rob Emery, just his second home run of this summer. His last one came against the Brewster Whitecaps. Second week at Stony Brook Field. Birds offense has really been in a drought with the long ball. But now they're starting to see the home runs tick up. 1-2, breaking ball waved out and missed, strike 3. Sharp slider ran in on the hands of Daniels. He chased it out of the zone, and the side is retired. But not before the Birds add one more on the second home run of the season by Rob Emery. Orleans scores 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave nobody left on base. After 2, it's Orleans 2, Bourne 0, and let's send it over to Scotty Gage, who I know likes to eat, but he's going to try and not eat through this read.
Hey, I know who's eating out there. It's Rob Emery. We're here with Michael Emery after, first off, welcome back. I know it's nice to see you back in the Cape, huh?
It's great to be back. It's really, it's been eating at me watching these games. You're doing a great job. I'm watching every broadcast, but it's been eating at me not to be here. So I was able to get some airline miles from my beautiful wife, and she sent me right back. So I'm in for a week, and it's great to see Rob, swing the bat.
Yeah, how about that home run, the highlight of the season right there for Rob Emery, a deep fly home run. Was it fun for you to see that?
It was. It's always fun for me to see that. Yes, it's nice to see Rob starting to get it and swing and relax and just feel comfortable and be here. And so I'm thrilled to see him. And he got a nice swing on that one, and it wins right, went out. Nice to watch.
Yeah, it was fun. I watched him as he went around. I was looking for the smirk, but he was cool, calm, and collected. What was your facial expressions like when he knocked that one?
He likes to see every swing he takes, so I was filming it on my iPhone, so I didn't actually see it go out. I heard the crowd.
Oh, you did? You did. All right, well, it was fun to watch. I hope you got a good video, right?
I just reviewed the film. It's okay.
Okay, good to know. Michael Emery, hey, congratulations to you and Rob on that home run. That was fun to watch. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Well, a little curveball thrown at us, but that's a good surprise. Mike Emery back in the ballpark to see his son play, and second night he's here in Orleans once again, round 2 of this summer for the Emery family. He sees his son hit his second home run of 2019.
We'll have to keep coming back then.
It seems like it's a good luck charm for Rob. Now, we lose one viewer on the Birds Broadcast Network, but I think it's worth the sacrifice. Top of the third we go at Eldridge Park. Jake Eater, the southpaw, winds and fires to Jackson Greer. Fastball cut on and missed for strike 1. Orleans 2, Bourne 0. With the Birds adding on another one thanks to the second home run of the summer by Rob Emery. 8-9-1 in this frame for the Bourne Braves, with the all-star catcher Jackson Greer leading things off. 0-1 from Eater. Fastball popped down the right side and out of play, and it's 0-2. Now, Greer 0 for his last 13 with 7 strikeouts, but one of 6 West Division All-Stars for the Bourne Braves, which is batting .217. Now, it sounds a little odd. West Division All-Star batting .217, but he's had some highlights this summer. 0-2. Fastball called on the outside corner, strike 3. Jake Eater, hard heater, catches the outside corner, his 4th K, and there's 1 away.
Yeah, and Eater's been doing it all with all types of pitches in his bag of tricks. I mean, we've seen the slider, throw it for a strike. Slider swing and miss, and a fastball outside corner paints it perfectly.
96 on that last fastball from Jake Eater on the outside part of the plate. It's now Brendan Rivoli, left fielder from Virginia, digs in for the first time tonight. Lefty on lefty matchup with 1 away. First pitch. Fastball chopped to the left side. Shortstop Murray comes on, gobbles it up, sets his feet, throws on to first, and there's 2 down.
Well, again, these Bourne Braves swinging early and often at the first couple of pitches from Jake Eater, and if he's on a pitch count here in this ball game, might help him out a little.
That was pitch number 28 from Jake Eater, 24 of them strikes. He is filling up the zone.
It's funny because Adam Simoneris made his first start of the season on opening night against Bourne, and he was about, 50-14 ratio?
Birds scored 2 runs in the first 2 innings, won that game 2-0. First pitch to Cody Morissette, taking all the way. Fastball right down the chute for strike 1.
There's a Josh Zamora home run in there. We've seen Rob Emery hit a home run.
Eater's only thrown strikes in this inning, and we know how this is going to go in the next pitch. 0-1 from the southpaw. Fastball cut on and missed. It's 0-2. Maybe it's broken.
I don't even need a broadcast anymore. You just need to hear the sound of him humming it into the Rob Emery's mitt.
So he set down the Braves on 7 pitches in the first. He's 6 pitches deep in the third. Orleans on top of Bourne 2-0. 0-2. Fastball hit out to left field. Kokoska ranging back. Has room in front of the warning track. Makes the grab ranging to his right. And the side is retired. So for the second time tonight, Jake Eater retires the Braves in order. And for the second time tonight, Jake Eater sets down the Braves on just 7 pitches. We're through 2.5 at Eldridge Park. Orleans on top of Bourne 2-0. And Thomas, let's look around the Cape.
Well, a couple games going on. Of course, no games were played on the Cape yesterday due to the rain all day. Doubleheader in Wareham between the Commodores and the Gatemen. Falmouth taking game 1, 5-2 over Wareham. They are just getting underway. It's playing field. Game number 2 in the top of the first. Over in Brewster, the Anglers are losing to the Whitecaps 9-1. Top of the 9th there. Again, a couple big standings moves. And then over in Harwich, 3-3 ball game between YD and Harwich, top of the 7th there. Over in Hyannis, 4-2 Kettleers in the top of the 5th. Again, standings to watch out for. Chatham with 40 points, 19-11-2 to lead things in the East. YD follows it up with 38 points, 18-12-2. Orleans, 15-11-3 with 33. But again, it's a close race. 30 points for Harwich, 15-17 down the year in 4th, and Brewster with 27, 13-17-1. So again, Brewster leading the Anglers right now. YD and Harwich are tied, so if YD can find a way to win that game, they'll be tied with Chatham for the first spot in the East Division.
I wonder if that's good news for the Birds that Brewster's beating Chatham. I'm sure any Birds fan will enjoy the Anglers losing. But in a weird, twisted way, it might hurt the Birds' chances to make the playoffs.
I think any time that a YD or Chatham can lose, I think the Orleans will applaud that. But again, at the same time, Brewster's in the cellar right now at 27 points. They're 6 points off the Birds from 3rd.
First pitch from Colby Dunlap to Zach Kokoska. Fastball up and in for ball 1. Firebirds 2, Braves nothing. Last of the 3rd at Eldridge Park. And the top of the lineup for the Orleans Firebirds. 1-0 from the right-hander Dunlap. Fastball skied down the left side, out of play. This one will run onto Route 28, and it's 1-1. This is the part of the lineup that got the Birds rolling back in the first. Kokoska grounded out, but Britton and Troiani delivered back-to-back singles. 1-1 the count to the Birds' leadoff man, Zach Kokoska, who's 0 for 1 tonight. 1-1. Fastball rocketed to the left side. Backhanded stop by the shortstop Glowenke down to a knee. Gets up, fires onto first. And the 2 shortstops going to battle tonight with the leather. There's 1 down.
Yeah, we have seen some pretty plays all over the league, but tonight Two shortstops, and Tanner Murray and Jimmy Golowenki flashing a leather on the backhand in the hole. Golowenki this time spinning and firing and setting his feet. We saw Tanner Murray backhand one and throw it on the run.
So now Zach Britton will step in. First pitch, fastball off the dish, taken for ball one. Firebirds a 2-0 lead over the Braves with one down in the bottom half of the third. Britton a rocket shot of a single back in the first, 1-0. Breaking ball corked out to deep right field. Fedko ranging back. Britton in his home run trot. He knows it's long gone. Third home run of the summer for Zach Britton. And the long balls are back for the Birds. It's the second of the night. It's a 3-0 Orleans lead.
Yeah, when it rains, it pours. I think that one got stuck in the tree up there in the right field side. Took a while for it to fall down, and you're exactly right. Zach Britton knew it. He already started slowing down before he even was coming across first base, taking that wide turn. Again, wind blowing in as well, so these Firebird hitters are carrying an extra 10, 15 feet well over the fence.
Well, it rained the last couple days on Cape Cod, and now it's raining just a different style at Eldridge Park. First pitch to Max Troiani. Breaking ball's chopped to the right side. That'll get through for a base hit. Another multi-hit performance for Max Troiani, his 13th of the summer, and the Birds just continue to rake in the early going.
Do we expect anything less from Max Troiani? No, we do not. Just keeps it simple. Pushes it through the hole on the right side, just like his first inning single that got the Birds going.
Now Harvey Shapiro will come out and have a word with Colby Dunlap on the mound. It is the second time the Birds have seen Dunlap this summer. He picked up the loss back on June 16th. Game one of that doubleheader. Birds scored 4 runs, 3 earned in just 3 2/3 before Shapiro made the move to the pen. So now Trevin Esquera will try and pass the baton down the line, with the Birds scoring at least 1 run in the first 3 frames tonight. Trying to aboard at first, there's 1 down in the last of the third. Righty on lefty matchup, first pitch to Esquera. Fastball outside for ball 1. Esquera got the Birds on the board back in the first, an RBI ground out to the second baseman Cody Morissette. There's Esquera's first RBI this summer in the Orleans Red. Trying an aggressive lead off first base, and Dunlap going to check over, and Triney dives headlong back in. Triney's reached base in 15 consecutive ball games. Had an opportunity to show off the wheels a little more. 3 for 4 in stolen base attempts after swiping 17 during the spring. 1-0. Fastball skips in low. It's 2 balls and no strikes. So the Firebirds had 14 home runs the first 29 games. They have 2 tonight. It's a good way to get that pace going in the right direction. How about a third? 2-0 the count to Esquera, and Dunlap will check on Triney at first. This is a little closer, but Max is back in with a dive. Firebirds 3, Braves nothing. 1 on with 1 down. 2-0. Fastball rolling up the first base side. Ryan Erickson will walk that way, but who else but Tanner Murray? Guy fields everything. Comes out of the dugout and plops it back in the ball bucket.
And charging in as well, breaking down into a fielding position.
Braves infield shifted up the middle, trying to get out of the jam with a double play. Triney being held on at first by Beloso. 2-1 home. Triney running. Fastball sent the other way down the left field line and out of play. It's 2-2.
Well, the Firebirds had a hit and run work in the first inning. Tried again here in the third.
So Esquera trying to add to this 3-0 Firebirds lead. Dunlap's 2-0. Fastball popped out of play behind the dish, and we'll do it again. Game going final. Chatham falls 9-1 to Brewster. So good news for the Orleans Firebirds, at least in the East Division. Still early in this ball game, but if the Birds hold on, it'll pull them within just 5 points off the pace of the lead in the East. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball rocketed out to right field. Fedko ranging back. Feeling for the fence. He has room, makes the grab. Triney will have to scamper back to first. That's where Fedko's throw goes, but not in time, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, Skira caught some wood on that ball, just couldn't just get enough of it out towards right center and a little deeper out there than maybe down the right field line where we saw Zach Britton pull one. But again, good AB worked by Escara.
It's now Shea Whitcomb, the second baseman from UC San Diego, digs in. First pitch from Dunlap, breaking ball fisted up the third base side, right into the on-deck circle for the bat boy for Bourne to handle for strike one. Firebirds 3, Braves nothing, with 2 down in the bottom of the third. It's been a run in each inning for Orleans so far. Scarra brought home 1 with an RBI groundout. Then a solo shot for Rob Emery, now a solo for Zach Britton in this inning. 0-1, Triani running, fastball taken upstairs, thrown out from the catcher. Greer has Triani by a mile. Triani tried sliding past the shortstop Jimmy Gluenke. He applied the tag, and the side is retired. But not before the Birds add another one on the third home run of the summer by Zach Britton. Orleans scores 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave nobody left on base. Firebirds 3, Braves nothing after 3 innings. And our sideline reporter Scotty Gaines will try and weave his way through the traffic, find Kelly Nicholson on that first base side as we chat with Skip with the Birds on top of the Braves 3-0. So we're playing Seeking Skip in the third. We'll play Seeking Scotty in the 7th. But Kelly Nicholson on his way up. And Scotty has finally got him. Let's send it over to Scotty Gaines alongside Kelly Nicholson.
Josh, thank you, man. Coach, we've seen a couple of home runs from the Firebirds. How great is that to see?
Yeah, it's always good. Never a bad time for a homer.
You said it. Jake Eater's on the mound, looking really, really good today. What have you seen out of him?
Yeah, a lot of command, man, and keeping the ball down and getting guys to chase up and moving the ball in and out, and pretty good change up and good breaking ball. So he's 3 solid innings so far.
How long are we expecting him today?
5. Let's hope we get 5 out of him today.
5 out of him. Thank you so much,
All right.
Coach. Good luck the rest of the way. Guys, we'll send it back to you. 5 out of Jake Eater today. We're hoping, Kelly Nicholson says.
And thank you, Scotty. Again, that was Scotty Gaines alongside Cale Nicholson here at the end of the third inning. Firebirds 3, Braves nothing. And Jake Eater will go no more than 5 innings tonight. And again, he's been spectacular for the Firebirds here. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up for the Braves in this 4th inning. So again, 2 more innings out of Jake Eater. He faces the right-hander, the third baseman, Xavier Warren. The right-hander digs in from the right side. First pitch from Jake Eater. Fastball and misses upstairs for ball 1. And please be joined by former Firebirds broadcaster making his return back to Eldridge 2016 alum, Brendan King. Brendan?
Tommy, Josh, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it. This is kind of a weird feeling that we've kind of changed positions here.
1-0 pitch rolled over down the third base side, scooped up by McCabe, sets his 3-feet throw across the diamond in time, and Warren is retired for out number 1 here in the top of the 4th inning. I know, Brendan, you and I go way back a couple years. Way back.
I think I go longer back. I met Brendan about an hour and a half ago.
Yeah, well, officially.
Officially, yeah, that's fair.
I mean, but yeah, it feels like just like yesterday when you were kind of to my right and I was wearing the headset doing the play and you were chipping in. So this is awesome, guys.
Well, it's good to see you back here at Eldridge. First pitch rolled over down the third base side by Jeb Fabian, the center fielder, for strike 1. For those of you who don't know, I was a game intern here in 2016, and BK was one of the broadcasters and got me to broadcasting a little bit. Now with the South Bend Cubs, graduate, another fellow Big East brethren, Butler. The 0-1 curveball, wave and a miss for strike 2.
That's going to be my claim to fame if you ever make the Hall of Fame, is that I got you on the broadcast.
Wow, that's fair.
It's one of those stories I can carry myself along.
Yeah,
because
Yark had already prepped the Hall of Fame speech.
Oh, I want to start typing it right now. It's already on my laptop. 0-2 from Eater. Fastball outside corner, strike 3. And Jake Eater continues to dominate Bourne here on the mound today. Quickly 2 down here in the 4th inning. Make that strikeout number 5 in this ball game. Again, 2 down, nobody on for the Braves. It's a 3-0 Firebirds lead, thanks to 2 solo blasts from Rob Emery and Zach Britton. So Glenn, the shortstop, open stance from the right side. Eater kicks and fires. First pitch is hit hard down the left field line, but will tail foul Out of play for strike one. Now, BK, I know you have plenty of memories out here at Eldridge Park. You're going to have to try to narrow it down to one here.
Of my favorite memory from that summer?
Yes.
Wow. You could call the pitch. I need some time to think.
0-1 from Eater. Off-speed pitches, misses up and out of the zone. Count a ball and a strike.
Now, Jake Eater's not giving you much time.
No,
he's
he's
working
not.
quickly.
He looks really comfortable out there, guys. I mean, this is impressive. You see very few guys come into this league and able to command the fastball that way and have these guys off balance by commanding it that way.
1-1 pitch. Just missing once again up and out of the zone. Count 2 balls and a strike.
I mean, I think the big answer obviously has to be when Adam Hazley walked off the Falmouth Commodores in July of 2016. I think the 3-year anniversary of that win recently passed, and that game was on TV too.
2-1 pitch. Sky down the first base side on the hill. Strike 2.
So that was a nationally televised game. You know, anybody watching that game on Fox was able to see Adam Hazley, and now able to see him in the big leagues with the Philadelphia Phillies. So in game action, I'd say probably that's the most memorable moment, but you know, there are just so many times spent with all parties involved.
2-2 fastball misses upstairs. Count is full.
With the Birds, from the coaching staff to the front office to game day interns to the broadcasters to the players, you know. 2016 was a special year, and I think it was really just a year of everybody just gelled together and had a good 3 months.
It was a fun time just like this summer. 3-2 pitch, rocking it down the third baseline. It's a fair ball. It's going to roll down the left field line. Kokoska comes to chase it. Rounding first, going towards second. Throw is a little bit high. Tag, not in time, as Glenkley slides in to the inside part of the bag, and it's a 2-out double for Jimmy Gluanke.
The only thing Jake Eater has made a mistake with tonight, left that ball over the heart of the plate. Gluanke just pulled it past Eddie McCabe down the third base line. And Thomas, we've seen it a bunch this summer. The Birds have been great on the mound, but we talked about when it rains, it pours for the Orleans offense. It's been a similar story for the pitching as well. When the Birds are sharp on the mound, things go great. When it's not, it comes in bunches for the opposition.
Again, that's just the second hit tonight for the Bourne Braves. Eater trying to work out of this 2-out jam. First pitch swinging, pop-up on the left side of the infield. Giving it a look as the third baseman McCabe going towards the fence, but it bounces off Route 28 into the woods for strike one. Now, BK, I tell Josh this all the time. I'm sure you can remember it. A couple cars.
Yeah, where could this go? This could be bad.
A couple cars getting hit, I believe, back in 2016. I
Yeah.
tell him every single year it happens.
Yeah, you really got to pick and choose where you park your car in right field.
As well, yeah.
I never had a problem with that, but maybe Hannah Hartman did.
The 0-1. Off-speed outside corner at the belt for strike two. Count 0-2. Hannah Hartman was the silent reporter that year. What happened to her car? I can't remember.
It got hit once. I don't think it broke the window. She drove that blue Jeep.
Yeah, remember that, yeah.
I don't think it actually hit the window, but there was definitely a dent.
Well, especially if Matt Witters is in the building. He's hit one out to the parking lot a few times. 0-2. Off-speed rolled over, fouled on the first base side. Car remains 0-2.
Oh, also, I have news to report to you about the 434 sign, and that Frank Thomas is not the only guy to ever hit it out.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's this news coming? Who's the source?
By the guy himself. Now,
Wow.
If you give
Really?
Me, let's see. What do we got here? There's 2 outs, so we might have to carry this story to the bottom of the fourth inning. But there's a story behind it.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah, we love it here. 0-2 from Eater. Off-speed hit hard on the ground towards the first base and hits off the knee of Escara into right field as Wakeham picks up the ball, but now runners down the corners with 2 down here in the top of the fourth inning. Firebirds 3, Bourne 0. Looking to strike and put themselves on the board.
All right, so Dave Keller is the Latin America field coordinator for the Chicago Cubs, who works down in the Dominican Republic and other South American countries with Cubs prospects who are international players. Now, he used to be the Cubs minor league hitting coordinator. He's worked as manager in the Cubs system. Of course, as I work with the South Bend Cubs, sometimes he comes to South Bend to work with some Latin American kids. Now, at BP, I was just talking up with him one day. I really didn't know him, so getting to know him a little bit. He was an Orleans Cardinal back in the 1980s.
Wow. First pitch from Eater. Check swing. Fastball just misses upstairs to the DH, Jared Poland.
So we're talking to each other. We're getting to know each other, and I mentioned, I used to be the Firebirds broadcaster. He goes, I haven't been out there since my summer, and
wow.
I mentioned the fact to him just about Eldridge and how beautiful it is, and of course the 434 sign, the infamous 434 sign.
1-0 pitch to Poland. Fastball fouled back to the screen. Count a ball and a strike.
And I just say, I think Frank Thomas is the only guy to ever hit it out of there, past there. And he says, no, he's not. I said, then who else did it? He goes, me. Dave Keller actually hit one 434. He remembers the exact moment. I don't know how he remembers it, but he remembers how he hit it.
Now we know as the 1-1 pitch is got down the first base side on top of the hill. Count a ball and 2 strikes on Poland.
So there are 2 gentlemen that have hit it over 434.
Wow.
So
We've been lying to our listeners now, I guess.
I've been waiting to tell you that.
So-
I didn't want to text you that. I wanted
So
to make
we
it-
learned from John Gardner that Frank Thomas didn't hit a single home run in the regular season, and it came all in the postseason in the same game.
Wow, I didn't even know
Yeah.
that.
So the legend continues to grow. We don't know what's real or fake,
Yeah,
but
we're gonna have to tell John Gardner about this, and
Yeah.
we'll see if he even knows.
I forgot what year it was, but it was in the 1980s.
Runners on the corners, 2 down, the 1-2 to Poland. Off-speed pitch once more is fouled towards the middle school. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Again, the Cape League, a league that has a lot of history. I mean, just full of it. I mean, going back to the days of when it was a local league to when the college players started coming. And now Hall of Famers are starting to trickle their way through here. So you never know who's going to walk on this dirt at Eldridge Park. Well, the 1-2. Nubbed up and behind the press box. Count remains 1-2.
I think a good example of that is I was at the winter meetings last year, and Aaron Boone just got done doing an interview for MLB Network, and I was just standing around just in the lobby of the Mandalay Bay Hotel in Vegas, and Aaron Boone turned around, and I just shook his hand and said, "Hey, man, Orleans Cardinals," and a big smile came on his face. So that's pretty cool.
are you a savage is the question.
What?
Are you a savage?
Aaron Boone?
The 1-2. Curveball cut on the miss for strike 3. As the Firebirds lead the Braves 3-0 here. As the Braves leave 2 men on, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error, 2 men left on base. Now BK, so Josh made the reference about
Yeah,
a
I have no
savage.
idea what
So-
You have no idea what I'm talking
I have
about.
no
So
idea what
there's
you're
the
talking about.
video from, I believe, yesterday or 2 days ago of Aaron
Have you
Boone.
been on Twitter the last 2 days?
Aaron Boone.
Barely, actually.
Oh,
arguing-
okay. This is why.
He's arguing with the home plate umpire. He says, I have savages on that in that dugout or whatever. These guys are savages.
There,
at
there
the
were some
plate."
expletives shared
Yeah.
in there as
He was
well.
shouting that at an umpire.
At an umpire, like
face
this
to face,
close, this
yeah.
close.
And so someone
do you know what
transcribed the
umpire
whole
it was?
video.
Was it like Jerry?
No, it wasn't. It was a young guy. It was a
Okay,
young
so-
guy, but his strike zone was not.
No, it
Questionable.
wasn't Joe West.
It was not Joe West.
There was
Not
a
Joe West.
pitch like a foot and a half off the plate called strike.
Okay.
It was like, it was not a good.
Now I
day.
just feel bad. Like I thought I was making a really nice joke.
Well, I'm sure people that have been on Twitter in the past couple
Yeah,
days know what you mean.
that's fair.
You know, maybe some Yankee fan. Eddie McCabe would have probably understood
Eddie
that one.
McCabe would have understood it. That makes me feel a little better, just a touch.
You know, I think it's cool as well. You got a lot of guys from Connecticut. I'm from Connecticut, but you know, pitchers from University of Hartford, UConn, guy like Harvard Shapiro, UConn guy, and then you got McCabe, a kid from Connecticut, plays at Georgetown. Obviously, Georgetown down in Connecticut, but still, a lot of those Northeast and Atlantic schools will face each other.
Have you been to the Hartford Yard Goat Stadium lately?
I have.
Is that
I've
a
been
great
lately.
spot?
I've been there actually only once, but absolutely love the ballpark.
They do a great job.
So I know one of the broadcasters told me this is a AA team, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's like a AAA ballpark.
Oh, it's
It's
I could-
tremendous.
I mean, if it needed to, it could pass off as a major league facility. I
Maybe
would-
better than
there's-
Tropicana Field. but
Major league name. There's no one topping that name.
The Hartford Yard Goats.
The Hartford Yard Goats?
Nothing
absolutely.
topping it.
And Dunkin' Donuts Park, you know, Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, downtown Providence, where the Friars
Home of
play.
your boys.
Exactly. Unfortunately, did not fare too well for the Bulldogs over the years, I don't think, at the Dunk.
Well, not in the past couple of years.
No. It's because you're not there anymore, BK. That's why.
That was a good rivalry that developed for when I was at Butler. Cooley's and Holtman's team would go head-to-head each time.
Oh, it's always it's fun to watch them down there. First pitch to Shea Wickham. Fastball at the knees for strike 1. So Nick Iverson out of Gonzaga. Second time we've seen him this year is on the hill, the right-hander. Bounces in. The 0-1. Kind of ball and a strike on Shea Wickham. Guy with 3 home runs so far. Flashing off the opposite field power as well, putting him over the right field fence just a few games back. The 1-1 from Iverson. Fastball just misses low and outside. Count 2 balls and a strike. Kid Thomason's Villager alongside Josh White and former Firebirds broadcaster Brendan King here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Firebirds 3, Bourne nothing here in the home half of the 4th inning. 2-1 pitch is laced down the left field line. It's a fair ball. It's going to trickle down towards the corner. Whitcomb taking a turnaround first, hitting it towards second. Throw is not in time. He dives in easily. And it's a leadoff double for the Firebirds. That's their 6th hit in this ball game. Look to add some more run support here in this ball game.
Make it 8 straight games now that Shea Whitcomb's been on base, and this is just kind of a perfect situation for him, hitting above the 365 mark at home, and now batting above the 400 spot over that 8-game stretch.
And Nick Iverson, a guy as well that has been solid on the mound so far. 13 2/3 innings, just a 1.31 ERA, making his 10th appearance. Has a save as well. Just walked 4. First pitch at McCabe, fastball misses upstairs for ball 1.
And Gonzaga kids continue to find their way to the Cape, Tommies. I mean, you remember the 16 team, Cal LeBrun, Eli Morgan, couple Firebirds.
Yeah. So Gonzaga's not known just for their basketball, as we've seen in the kennel out there in Seattle.
That's a long trip, man.
Spokane.
Spokane to Cape Cod.
The 1-0. Fastball at the knees. First strike 1. I think McCabe count a ball and a strike.
Did you call him Tom Z's?
Tommy.
Tommy Z's or just Tommy?
He could be Tommy Z.
He's
got a lot of names.
I could see it, right?
I go by a lot of names around here.
I go Zinzi.
Yep, that's.
BK calls me that
At
as well.
Zins21.
At Zins21. Not Zins2.
Give it a follow on Twitter.
Shameless plug.
The 1-1. Fastball is got on the first base side out of play. Got 1 and 2.
Wonder if Stu Murray's watching tonight.
I mean, we should have texted Stu that you're going to be on air.
Oh,
we'll see him Sunday.
We can change that.
We can just dial Stu up right now. Tell him, drop all what you're doing, stop writing your article, whatever you're doing for Perfect Game, and tune in.
Jeez.
Whitcomb over at second base. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 3-0 Birds lead. Iverson comes set from the belt. Glances in. The 1-2. Fastball once again is hammered down the first base side. Over towards the Nasa Grillier. Over towards the parked car down there. Again, as BK said, you got to pick and choose where you want to park your car here. It's funny because Jacob Hurtubise, he's not in the lineup tonight for the Firebirds, but left-hander fouls a ton of balls into the woods over Route 28 over here. And Kellen Nicholson, the skip said, expect a lot of those this year. 1-2 curveball is rolled down the third base side, scooped up by Warren, throw across the diamond in time. McCabe is retired for the first out.
I think you said left-hander wrong.
Left-hander.
That's not bad.
Left-hander.
Neat kid Sheets here.
Kid Sheets also a former Firebird. We saw in the video for Kalen Nicholson's 350th win.
How about him and Brandon Vilak? Teammates on the Cape, roommates on the Cape, now roommates in AAA.
AAA Corpus Christi.
That's the AA.
Okay.
They're in Round Rock.
Round Rock, the AAA for the Houston
The Round
Astros.
Rock Express.
Wow. That's a team
That's a
name.
good one.
I like that one. First pitch to Tanner Murray, misses below the knees. Count 1-0.
Belak actually just had his best AAA start. They were at Iowa, so Belak, I think, went like 7 innings, struck out 8 Iowa Cubs.
Birds.
I think he struck out Ian Happ as well.
Oh, Ian Happ, former Harwich Mariner. Had some time for your Cubs.
Yep, he was in South Bend at 15.
Now I believe he's in AAA with the Iowa Cubs.
Yep.
1-0 pitch is laced down the first base line. Tailing foul coming in as the right fielder, but he'll head towards the seats. Nice ground down there by a fan. Gets a nice round of applause. Count a ball and a strike.
Have you guys had any scares over here with foul balls? Anything dropping on the table?
Nothing.
It's kind of a tough area to get one.
My laptop got hit off a deflection.
Yeah, that happened a lot when it was behind home plate. Remember Mike DeWolf, the video guy, took one off his laptop?
I do remember that, yeah. How about you, BK? Anything in the minor leagues? Any close scares?
We actually almost had one. We were just in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and probably I was about 3 inches from having to put up the hands.
Well, you and I were walking down the first base line talking to Steve Guerin, the PA announcer, and a
God,
foul ball almost came, or a BP ball. 1-1 fastball, misses low and out of the zone to Murray. Count 2 balls and a strike.
It landed between Steve and I.
Didn't yell, no one yelled watch out or anything, or in golf, like say 4, 4 right.
Do you have to say that a lot?
When I caddy, yes.
Oh, no, any place.
Oh. Don't get to play as much as I work, unfortunately. I've seen a couple Firebirds over there at the golf course, though. 2-1 pitch. Hits off the foul pole, goes back towards fair play, and it's a fair ball, though, for playing deflections out here.
Well, you've seen Paige Thompson at the golf course, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, our Paige Thompson, our media guru guy, we like to call him. He was at the driving range, and I was working, and Paige is walking down and just yells my name, and that's the Firebirds way.
He yelled that a boy, I'm sure.
Saw Coach I. Bergoat over at the golf course as well. You know, BK would remember Chandler Day, former
I was
Firebird.
about to say that.
Him and I used to go golfing a lot. 2-2. Fastball is laced out towards right field. The right fielder, Fetko, backing up a few steps in front of the warning track, makes the grab. Tagging from second to third is Shea Wickham. He'll be in easily over at third. So productive out by Tanner Murray. Results in out number 2, but moves Wickham up another 90 feet to third. So Wickham again over at third base, 2 down, 3-0 Firebirds lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Rob Emery, the catcher, already hit a solo home run in the second, looks to tack another RBI here in the 4th.
You mentioned Chandler Day. I think he's one of the better Cape League stories over the past 4 or 5 years or so, what he had to go through and coming out here and playing really well and ultimately getting drafted by the Nationals.
First pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. You mentioned, of course, Donnie Everett, the former Vanderbilt pitcher, was supposed to come here to Orleans that summer with Chandler, and I believe they were roommates back in Vanderbilt as well. Unfortunately, Donnie drowned in a river in Tennessee. Was a spectacular kid, and 1-0 fastball outside corner for strike 1, count a ball and a strike, and it's just cool to see the whole Vanderbilt community and the whole baseball community come around him. I believe this year they had his family over, and so some of those guys are still there from when Donnie was a player. But Chandler was here for 2 summers in Orleans. The 1-1 foul back to the screen. Got a ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that senior class for Vanderbilt was Day and Everett's year, and I think the moment you're alluding to is when Vanderbilt won the national championship. Tim Corbin and the players invited the Everett family onto the stage to share that national championship, because that was a moment that really touched that entire program.
They still have the 41, I believe, patch on their uniforms and all over. The 1-2 pitch, fastball at the letters for strike 3. And Rob Emery goes down swinging to end the 4th inning. Firebirds, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on a base. After 4, Firebirds 3, and Bourne nothing. We're going to stick it right here with, again, Brendan King, former Firebirds broadcaster in 2016. And Thomas Cinzarella, also Josh White here on the broadcast. Now, just before we let you go, BK, I know you grew up a Cubs fan, a diehard Cubs fan. Now you're working in the Cubs organization as a broadcaster. What's it like for you?
It's a dream come true, Tommy. I mean, you know, getting to work in the minor leagues is awesome. Getting to know the Cubs of tomorrow, really cool. But also, they let me do a game at Wrigley last year in September as the Cubs beat the Brewers 3-0 and kept them in first place. I think everybody knows what happened with the Cubs last year, but it was a key moment in September to keep them in first in the NL Central. So, I mean, really, it's a dream come true, and I owe it all, most of it, to everybody here in Orleans, because that was the first chance anybody ever took on me. And I remember Stu Murray. I mean, I didn't even send him baseball tape. I sent him, like, basketball and soccer tape. And he still hired me and brought me out with Logan Raddick, and everything worked out.
Indeed it did. It was a fun year to be around the team, and I know how much you missed the Cape, so
it's good to be back.
It is for sure good to be back. And you know, I always tell people, you know, if people ask you how you're doing, I say, well, we're on Cape Cod, we're watching Cape League baseball, and the sun is shining, so it doesn't get much better than that.
That's all that matters, and we'll probably have a pretty nice sunset too as it's starting out.
Well, we saw a little bit of the Chatham fog the other night, so now we get the Cape sunset here.
Yep.
Some spectacular sunsets down by the water.
I feel like the Chatham fog is showing up a lot to it did our year. I just feel like every time we were there, we didn't really get fog.
We heard from one of the beat writers, our guy Anthony
Anthony
DeBundo. He's saying that the fog is actually coming in earlier, and then it kind of leaves. So, interesting note there.
Did you hear Tom Holliday's claim on the whole thing, by the way? Tom Holliday had this theory that they should extend the delay for Chatham fog. If the delay is 30 minutes, normally they'll call it within that 30-minute stretch.
Yeah.
He said they should wait double that time because normally it rolls out. Tom Holliday, not many evening plans.
Tom Holliday wants to stay there the whole night and plays some baseball. First pitch from Jake Eater, fastball just misses the letters for ball 1. Again, I'd like to thank Brendan King here with us on the Birds Broadcast Network. Again, Josh White alongside me and Thomas Zinzarella. Here in the top of the 5th inning, 3-0 Birds lead. Eater for his last inning of work in this ball game. The 1-0. Change up. Popped up on the right side of the infield to Scarra. moving in towards foul ground, moves back towards second, makes the grab just beyond first base for out number 1. So Eater's just allowed 2 hits so far in this ball game through 4 1/3. Has struck out 6, not walked any of the Braves either, as Jake Eater continues to shine on the hill. Coming this ball game at walk 3 over his first 5. First pitch nubbed up down towards the third base side of the Bourne dugout for strike 1. Catcher Jackson Greer at the dish for the Braves. Guy out of East Tennessee State University. Pretty good basketball school about 2 years ago, making the NCAA tournament. Eater gets the nod on the hill, works from the stretch. So the 0-1. Off-speed pitch rolled over down the third base side. McKay moves to his right, scoops it up, throw over to first in time. And Greer is retired for the second out again. Eater working quickly on the mound. Again, through 4 2/3, has thrown 46 strikes, just 10 balls, 56 pitches through 4 1/3. And we're going to see him 5, unfortunately, but he has been fun to watch tonight. So Brendan Rivoli, the 9-hole hitter for the Braves. The 2-down inning looks to jumpstart this 5th inning. First pitch from Eater, fastball misses down below the knees for ball 1. Again, just the 11th ball thrown by Jake Eater through 4 2/3. Has really been pounding the zone tonight for the Firebirds with 6 punch-outs. Eater kicks and fires the 1-0. Fastball all in on the hands, broken down almost towards the second baseman. Comes around, throw to first, is in time. Another 1, 2, 3 inning worked by Jake Eater. 5 strong innings for the Commodore, just allows 2 hits, strikes out 6. After 5, it's the Firebirds 3 and the Braves nothing. We're going to check in with our silent reporter, Scotty Gange, and you're with one of my favorite people here at Eldridge Park. Scotty, over to you.
Media stuff you guys put out, you know.
Hey, our broadcaster just said that you are one of his favorite people. Here with Mr. Firebird. Are you kidding me? What a special day it is, right over there.
Right on,
How are you hot in that suit today?
It's hot. I mean, when the sun is up, it's hot. But once the sun goes down and you guys are putting on blankets, it's nice, you know.
So you made this suit on your own, didn't you?
No, I helped design it. Me and some folks from the Cape Cod Playhouse. We designed it out in Brewster and fit to my specs, and that was it, you know.
It looks good. You've got the whole
21 years, it's holding up pretty good, you know.
Yeah, you just said 21 years being Mr. Firebird, watching the Firebirds. These are the Firebirds. You are the Firebird.
The Firebird. I used to be the Cardinal, but but now I'm the Firebird.
It's a good thing you didn't write like Cardinal across your chest. Right?
Right. Exactly.
Hey, in your 21 years being Mr. Firebird, I know it's so cool. You get to improve everybody's day. You know, bring them a smile as you're walking around here.
Especially the little kids. You know, I mean, that's the big joy when the little kids can smile and they're not afraid of you and they're here to have a good time. You know, that's what it's all about, having a good time. You know.
What's your favorite part about being out here?
Meeting these little kids. You know, that's it. Big time.
21 years. If there's one specific moment you can remember being Mr. Firebird, what would it be?
You know, seeing kids come back year after year, watching them grow, and their parents telling me stories, you know, I mean, how they couldn't say, saying Firebirds going over the bridge, and that's all they would say on their whole vacation, go Firebirds, you know. Stuff like that. It's just, you know, it's fun, you know.
Can we get a big old go Firebirds from
all right,
you?
you ready? Let's go Firebirds!
Thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
And thank you, Scotty, and Mr. Firebird up there on the hill. First pitch, slider on the inside corner to Zach Daniels for strike 1.
I need new eardrums. I was not expecting that.
Well, if you know Mr. Firebird, he loves to yell. The 0-1. Off-speed once again misses inside. Count a ball and a strike.
If you know me, you know I'm deaf, and I got our headphone thing jacked up all the way.
That is true, Josh. A little hard hearing so far in the early goings. Definitely heard that one, though.
Oh, I did.
1-1 from Iverson. Fastball fouled back to the screen to Zach Daniels. Count a ball and 2 strikes.
I think the best part about it is I heard the echo, too. I heard it through the headset, and then I heard it probably about 2 seconds later.
You can hear Mr. Firebird or George the Firebird, whichever you want to call him. He's all over the ballpark. You can literally hear him. The 1-2. Fastball once again fouled back to the screen behind the dish. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. Daniels, Kokoska, and Britt, a 9-1-2 duo for the Firebirds here in the bottom of the 5th. They lead the Braves 3-0, and thanks to solo home runs from Rob Emery and Zach Britton, and then an RBI ground out by Trevin Escada. 1-2. Fastball at the letters for strike 3. Escada pumps the fastball upstairs and blows it by Zach Daniels for out number 1. So nobody boarded for the Birds. Zach Kokoska looks to change things here. 0 for 2 night so far for Kokoska, but looks to change it here. And the former Hokie now at Kansas State. First pitch of Kokoska, fastball bounces past the catcher, Greer towards the backstop for ball 1, and count 1-0. Kokoska has played in all 3 prior games against the Borns, who's now officially played in all 4 games against the Braves so far. 1-0 pitch, shattered bat out towards second baseman Morissette, fields it on 2 up, sidearm throw to first, and Kokoska is retired for the second out in this 5th inning. So Iverson strong so far and has now retired 5 in a row after he gave up a leadoff double in the 4th of the first batter he saw in Shea Whitcomb last inning. Got 3-0 Birds lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Nobody aboard with 2 down. Zach Britton, the right fielder, 2 for 2 so far with the home run that has highlighted his day. First pitch fastball skips in to the mid of Greer, count 1-0. Britton has reached base in 11-15 games so far this year, making 12 of 16. Get a guy with 6 doubles on the season, the 1-0. Fastball's fouled back to the screen for strike 1. Now that one was just a little high and right above me, but you know, BK, you're still sitting next to me, and that was maybe a little closer to you than you anticipated. Count is 1-1 strike on Britton. Iverson kicks and deals. The 1-1 is looped out towards shallow left center field. Coming in is Fabian. Camp center at left center and makes the catch for the 3rd out. So 1-2-3 inning worked by Iverson here in the 5th inning. As after 5, it's the Firebirds 3 and the Braves nothing. We're going to take a look at the standings and leaders here on the Cape. We talked about in the East Division, the Anglers falling to the Whitecaps tonight. So Chatham stays at 40 points. They fall to 19-12 into the Whitecaps move to 14-17-1 with 29 points. They will stay in 5th place in the East. While we're talking on the subject, we'll take a look at the YD in Harwich game. Let's see what's going on over there at White House Field. Bottom of the 8th inning, Harwich has opened it up to an 8-4 lead. So in almost 2 innings, it was a 3-3 ball game at the top of the 7th. Bottom of the 8th, it's now 8-4. And for a Harwich team that has spectacular pitching, but just hasn't been able to find the bats, they found the bats in the last inning.
You mentioned spectacular pitching, and I know Jake Eater's day has come to a close after 5 shutdown innings, but that was about as dominant as you'll see on the Cape. Eater just faced 18 batters in 5 innings, surrendered 2 hits, 6 strikeouts, no walks. He was not messing around at all. He was throwing strike after strike after strike. And now this is a chance for Kelly Nicholson, who after a couple games got rained out. He had McLaughlin as the next man up in the starting rotation for the Birds. He's going to come into this ball game, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see McLaughlin for more than 1 inning. Try and stretch him out a little bit. You saw the rainouts. The Birds' bullpen's fresh. They can go to their 8 team, if you will, out of the pen.
Yeah, McLaughlin probably up on that 8 team so far. Pitched a scoreless inning against YD back on July 13th. Again, a lot of rainouts playing in part to McLaughlin not pitching. A guy that made 73 appearances out of the pen for BYU. Pitched 51 2/3, 46 punch-outs with a 2.61 ERA, making his 2nd appearance here in a Firebirds uniform. As a look to keep the Bourne Braves bats at bay. It'll be the top of the order coming around for Bourne. 1, 2, 3 hitters due up. Cody Morissette, the second baseman from Boston College, will start things off. And Josh, you mentioned you might see him for more than an inning. We've seen that so far with a guy like Dawson McCarville or Isaac Escada. A couple of guys out of the bullpen that have just been fantastic over a number of innings. You know, Escada was 6 innings, striking out, was it 6 or 7 guys?
It was 8 or 9.
8 or 9. Well, I undersold him. I'm sorry, Isaac. But we've seen that a number of times from him in general. Just a guy that we've seen probably the most go eat up a bunch of innings in that bullpen. So again, Cody Morissette, the left-hander from Boston College, digs in from the left side. McLaughlin, the right-hander, comes set from the stretch here to start the top of the 6th inning. First pitch from McLaughlin is slashed down the third base side, but foul for strike one. It's funny because I saw on the Bourne Braves Twitter page when they're announcing the All-Stars, made the All-Star video, and Morissette, obviously a guy from BC, made the All-Star game. And his teammate at BC, Chris Gallen, who plays for Harwich, commented on the video, 0-1 foul back to the screen, count 0-2, and, kind of gave him some crap a little bit. It was funny. Chris Gallen, an All-Star in Harwich, so they'll see each other on Sunday here at Eldridge Park. 0-2, off speed in the dirt. Count a ball and 2 strikes on Morissette.
Thomas, I learned something new today, actually, about the All-Star game, and I got to pull this up exactly on the number, but they've played in some sort of All-Star game in the modern era every single year since 1963, but it's been varying kind of the last 50-plus years.
1-2 off speed is looped out of play behind the third base side. Count remains 1-2.
So if you look at the Orleans All-Star games, not the Orleans All-Star game, the Cape All-Star games all the way back. Now, they play East-West division the last 15 or so years, probably a little longer, actually, as well, since 1988.
1-2 fastball, foul tipped into the mitt of Rob Emery for a strike through. McLaughlin comes in and retires Morissette, the first batter he sees, start out this 6th inning.
McLaughlin picking up right where Eder was. It's the 7th punch-out for the Firebirds pitching staff. And still no walks for Orleans. So since 1988, it's been East versus West. From 1970 to 1987, it was the Cape Cod Baseball League versus the Atlantic Collegiate Baseball League. Then before that, some more twists and turns.
First pitch is Xavier Warren. Fastball misses just a bit too far inside for ball 1.
You had the Upper Cape Division and the Lower Cape Division play from 1964 to 1969. And then, of course, way back when, first year of the modern era, Cape and the Cranberry League.
The Cranberry League. Don't hear that every day. 1-0 for McLaughlin. Off-speed misses down the zone and count 2-0. Can I mention it's a league that has a lot of tradition and history. A team like Sagamore used to have a team. In the Cranberry League, haven't heard that in a while. Of course, a lot of Cranberry patches to be here around the Cape. 2-0 fastball at the belt for strike 1. Count 2 balls and a strike on Xavier Warren, the third baseman for Bourne. Top of the 6th inning, 3-0 Birds lead. 1 down in this half inning, nobody aboard for the Braves. Just 2 hits so far. Jake Eder went 5 innings, struck out 6. Again, just allowed the 2 hits. McLaughlin comes set, kicks and deals, though, 2-1. This one's lifted out of play on the third base side over Route 28. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it's funny you mentioned 1988 because we were talking about Frank Thomas earlier. That was the year he played for the Orleans Cardinals. Or is it somebody else I'm thinking of? I can't remember now. Again, lost in all his history. The 2-2 was lifted down the area on the third base side and out of play.
So think about the Birds have 16 home runs this season. That's on the lower side in the Cape. So you're probably talking about 40 or 50 players at some point this summer have hit a home run across the league. Pete Alonso, who just won the home run derby, didn't hit a single home run while he was on the Cape. And Frank Thomas in 1988 didn't hit a single home run during the regular season. Think about that.
Yeah, it's crazy sometimes. As a 2-2 pitch, fastball up in the zone once again is fouled down the third base side out of play. And Brendan Crawford was here on Cape Cod, batted below 200.
I was going to say, what, a $181, right?
Yeah,
$160 or something?
It was a buck, I want to say $180, $190, somewhere in there. Well, if you go to Baseball Cube, they got all those stats up there. And yet, he turned out okay. Couple-time All-Star for the Giants, World Series winner. Couple Gold Gloves as well. I believe he won 2 or 3 in a row. 2-2 curveball in the outer half of the play. Lift up to left center field. Left fielder Kokoska coming in. Cam Sunderland and makes the catch for the second out.
Make it 6 in a row, retired by the Firebirds pitching staff. And Between Eder and McLaughlin, completely different presence on the mound. Eder 6'5", big, tall, lanky kid, just around 200 pounds. Then you get Reed McLaughlin, who checks in there at about 5'11", maybe 6 foot on a good day, and just a $175.
Yeah, the height disparity there between Eder and McLaughlin. First pitch curveball. He goes around at the plate. Is Judd Fabian, the center fielder for Bourne tonight. Okay, Firebirds 3, Bourne nothing here. Top of the 6th inning. Again, just 2 hits for Bourne. 0-1. Fastball runs low and outside. Got a ball and a strike.
No disrespect to Judd Fabian at all. He's hit 5 home runs on the summer already. That's more than Frank Thomas and Pete Alonso combined.
Of course.
On the Cape.
Fabian, Florida guy. Pete Alonso, Florida guy. 1-1. Off-speed misses low and out. Count 2 balls and a strike.
Keep my opinions to myself about that school.
Jonathan Indy also played here for the Harwich Mariners. It's a top 5 overall draft pick. Or top 10, I should say. I believe it was 8 or 9 to the Cincinnati Reds 2 years back. 2-1 fastball is hammered down the left field line, but tails foul and towards the seats. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Couple of hard hit balls here by Bourne, just haven't been able to put them in play. McLaughlin looks to set down Fabian here during this half inning. The 2-2 fastball upstairs, strike 3. McLaughlin punches out 2 in this half inning. It's a 1-2-3 6th inning worked by the Firebirds. After 5.5, it's the Firebirds 3 and Bourne nothing. Now, we talked about Redshirt Friday earlier in the ball game, but our silent reporter, Scotty Gange, has some more, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. Thanks, Thomas. Hey, you can see, the camo hats on Fridays, but most of all, it's the red shirts on Fridays. For every home team in the Cape Cod Baseball League, they'll be wearing the red shirts, the red jerseys that Orleans is wearing right now. You see it's the Cape Cod logo. It doesn't say Orleans because it's much bigger than baseball when it comes to Fridays on the Cape, in the Cape Cod Baseball League. It's all about respecting and honoring those who are in the military today and those who have been in the military. It's about raising awareness for those that are struggling in times after their time in the military in terms of PTSD, and those just struggling while they're in currently right now. It's all about raising awareness for those in the military, those around the military, families, family members, friends, military service people, veterans, all of that. It's really, really cool, and it's something that is really sweeping the country. It's not only just on the Cape Cod Baseball League. There's Red Shirt Fridays across the country. So I know for me, now every Friday I'm going to look forward to wearing a red shirt, whatever it is, whether it's according to the Cape Cod Baseball League standards, it's got the Orleans Firebirds logo on it or not. I'm looking forward to Fridays. And for everybody out there, wear a red shirt on Fridays because it actually is a big-time thing, and it's just all about raising awareness for those veterans, military members, and their families. It's really, really special. And, I think it just is another great example for why the Cape Cod Baseball League is just bigger than what it actually is. So they got these hats that I'm holding right now. Thomas, you're rocking the camo socks. And then the red jerseys you've seen all night long. Take a look. It's Cape Cod Baseball League because it's about much more than the Orleans Firebirds. It's about much more than the Cape Cod Baseball League. And it's about much, much more than baseball.
And thank you, Scott. I know you're a big sock guy, so expecting those socks on next Friday.
I forgot my socks. I'll wear them next Friday. You know I will.
We'll be matching then. Sounds good.
All righty.
So bottom of the 6th inning here from Eldridge Park. Firebirds 3, Bourne nothing. New pitcher on the hill for Bourne. Carl Johnson out of Connecticut. Fairfield, Connecticut native. Stands in at 6'5", 190. The right-hander facing the 3-4-5 hitters for the Firebirds. First pitch fastball comes well upstairs as Trani does the old Olay out of the right side. Trani so far, perfect 2 for 2. Pair of singles, one in the first and one in the third. Was caught stealing to end that 3rd inning. 1-0. Fastball comes up and in. Once again, Trani scurries out of the box. Count 2-0. Johnson comes set, kicks and fires. 2-0 fastball, catches the inside corner for strike 1. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Johnson making his 9th appearance here on Cape Cod. Has pitched 15 1/3 innings, all of the bullpen with 17 punch-outs. 2-1 to pitch is looped out towards shallow right field. It's going to touchdown for a base hit. Trani takes the turnaround at first. He stays right over there. And Trani, 3 singles in this ball game. He's now 3 for 3. and start things off here in the 6th.
Yeah, breaking news, Max Trani, another single. Every single hit, shy of one this summer, has been a one-bagger for Max Trani. Make it 34 singles this summer and 35 hits, but he just continues to be an absolute machine for the Birds. That average continues to climb above the 350 mark now.
And it's funny because I was talking with one of his college teammates back at Bentley, our friend Lloyd Hill, who's a scout intern this year, and he said Trani bats leadoff spot for the Firebirds and might feel somewhere comfortable. Esquera sends a drive out towards right field. Fetko backing up at the track. It's gone. A 2-run blast for Trevor Esquera, and the Firebirds tack on 2 more. Their 3rd home run of this ball game. It's a 5-0 lead for the Birds here in the 6th.
Baseball is such a funny game, Thomas. This guy was not supposed to be in the lineup today. He was added in late after Raymond Gill got scratched after batting practice, and now Esquera has 3 of the RBIs tonight for the Birds.
You mentioned 3 of the 5 now. It's a 5-0 Birds lead. Still nobody down here in the 6th. It's Shea Whitcomb, the second baseman. And again, the wind blowing in from center field. And we saw Esquera pulling out the warning track back in the 3rd. This time it carries out over the right field fence. First pitch fastball from Whitcomb comes up and in as he freezes in the right-hander's batter's box. Sun pretty much set in the sky here from Eldridge Park. A nice, as our sun reporter Scotty Gage would say, cotton candy looking as the 1-0 pitch is hammered down the left field line, backing down towards the warning track. And makes the grab is Rivoli, the left fielder, for the 2nd out. Similar hard hit ball on the left field side, but caught by Rivoli. There's one down here in the 6th. So Ed McCabe, the 3rd baseman from Georgetown, Connecticut native, going against Carl Johnson, Connecticut native. First pitch, off speed, comes in at the belt for strike 1. McCabe so far, a pair of groundouts both to Xavier Bourne over at 3rd base. So just trying to put the ball anywhere but there. 0-1. Fastball upstairs and popped up. Now to play. Count 0-2. Again, Esquera's 2-run blast has really gotten the bats going. It was a home run by Emery in the 2nd, followed up by a home run by Britton in the 3rd, and now a 2-run blast here in the 6th. No balls and 2 strikes to count, nobody on with 1 down. 0-2. Fastball chopped over towards the second baseman. Morissette lets it take a couple hops, throw it to first base. And McCabe is retired for the 2nd out. So after allowing the home run to Esquera, Johnson has simmered down a bit here, has retired the next 2 Firebirds he has seen. Again, 2 on it. Or 2 out, nobody on for the Birds. 5-0 lead here in the 6th. It's now Tanner Murray, the shortstop from UC Davis, who digs in towards the back end of the right side. Right-hander Carl Johnson working from the stretch, comes set, kicks and fires. First pitch curve misses too far inside as Murray turns the shoulder. Murray, so we saw McCabe, who had 2 groundouts to 3rd, to his first 2 ABs. Murray has 2 flyouts, both to the right fielder, Kyler Fetko. 1-0. Curveball misses down below the knees. Count 2 balls and no strikes on Murray. So as Trani started off this inning with a single, then a Esquera home run. 8th hit in the ball game for the Birds. 2-0 pitch, swung on a miss. And a pitch out of the zone. Murray not happy with himself as he kicks some dirt around from the right side. Was ahead of the count, still is, but a really good count. 2-1. Fastball is lifted up and out of play on the first base side. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Seems like today so far we've seen a number of balls go over the hill on the first base side, more than usual. So count is 2 balls and 2 strikes on Murray. Nobody aboard with 2 down. 5-0 Birds lead as Carl Johnson looks to retire the last 3 hitters of this inning. 2-2 fastball comes well above the letters. Count is full. Rob Emery on deck for the Firebirds. He also has a home run. One of the 3 home runs for the Birds tonight. Johnson comes set. The payoff pitch. Fastball check. Swing. Holds up. And Emery tosses the bat towards the first base dugout as Emery will take off the catcher shin guards and step up to the dish. So Johnson gives up a 2-out walk as Emery makes the trek over to the right side. Catcher from San Francisco hit his 2nd home run of the season tonight. Again, that was back in the 2nd, a solo blast over the left field fence. So Johnson glances over towards first at Emery. First pitch of Rob Emery. Check swing. Gets past the catcher. Greer going towards second is Emery. He's in standing up. As Murray takes another 90 feet here and puts himself in scoring position with 2 down. So Emery went down when the barrel went through the zone on the pitch, so it's 0-1 on Emery. Takes his time getting into the right side. Gets the right-hander Carl Johnson. Johnson comes set. Looks back over towards second. Nobody holding on Murray. The 0-1. Off-speed catches the outside corner for strike 2. As Emery's in the hole now, 0-2. Murray off at second base. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. Birds 5, Bourne nothing. As Murray looks to extend his lead here off a second. The 0-2 curveball in the dirt. Good block by the catcher Greer to hold Murray over at second. Again, Murray has a healthy lead over there at second base. Second baseman Morris set, not really holding him on over there with 2 down. Count is 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 down on Rob Emery. The 1-2 pitch, fastball, misses at the ankles. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Emery, like you mentioned, already had a home run tonight and an RBI, obviously. Looks to tack on another insurance run here in this half inning. 2 already in this inning. Murray off at second base. 2 down. Johnson taking a lengthy time on the mound to Greer, and a sign of finally gets it from Greer. The 2-2 pitch, off speed, runs low and outside. Emery able to lay off it. Count is now full at 3-2. So after Emery fell behind the count, 0-2, has worked it all the way back to full. Murray off of second base with a walk and then advanced over to second. Johnson comes set. The payoff pitch. Fastball is looped out towards right field. The first baseman, Belosa, going towards the hill over there, runs out of the room and will find the seats about 2 rows back. So Emery has another chance at life here. The pitch number 7 in the AB upcoming for the catcher. Birds 5, Bourne nothing here in the home half of the 6th inning. Murray over at second base. Johnson trying to end this half inning right here and limit the damage. Again, already 2 runs in for the Firebirds. The payoff pitch once more. Fastball once again is spoiled off down the first base side over towards the middle school. They'll do it again at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Good AB here from Rob Emery, bringing a new pitcher into the ballgame, Johnson, who struggled with command to make him work even harder. Fell off a bunch of pitches to spoil him out of play. Try and just extend his frame.
Johnson comes set, looks back at Murray, kicks and fires a 3-2. Curveball at the letters for strike 3. And Emery goes down looking to it right away as well. But the Firebirds strike for 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. And that's how things end here in the 6th. Firebirds 5, Bourne nothing. We're going to send it down to our assignment reporter, Scotty Gage, for some more food.
Thomas, man, we're always talking about food, brother. Come on. But we do actually have to talk about food. First off, when the Birds are hitting home runs, life is good in Orleans. Trevin Esquera, what a bomb. That was fun to watch. But do you know who was in front of him? Who scored first? A trivia. Who scored right before Trevin Esquera on that home run? Who was on base?
Do you want me to tell you, or do you want the audience to try to figure it out?
Oh, yeah?
Max Tirani, of course, your
yeah,
guy.
not a baby, not a baby, not a baby. Max Troiani scored on that 2-run home run. Trevor Niscara, great shot. But, hey, Max Troiani, and we've talked about it a couple times this season. He really, really has a cool story. And I was actually talking to Michael Emery, Rob Emery's dad, about this right after I interviewed him after Rob's home run, and the fact that it's really cool that he was supposed to be here for 2 weeks. He was supposed to have a really, really amazing internship in New York that he actually turned down to follow his passion because he's playing so well, too. He's a Cape Cod League All-Star. So in the latest edition of Bird Bites at the Knack, we both shared an avocado burger. We both had our own. We had a milkshake. It was delicious. If you go to the Knack, if you're a family member coming in here and you need to go get a milkshake, please, I beg you, go to the Knack. It was so good. But we really just dove into, his decision-making on, what led him to stay here. It was all about happiness and opportunity for him. He said he talked to lots of family members, friends, coaches, mentors, all of that. And he really broke it all down to me in our conversation. It's about 20 minutes or so, and it's going to go up later this weekend, probably right after he shines in the All-Star game, the starting center fielder for the East team. So just pretty cool. It always is to talk with these guys and hear their stories away from the ball field because it's really, really fun to get to know these guys.
Reed McLaughlin will head back out for his second inning of work with the Birds on top of the Braves 5-0. First pitch to Jimmy Glowacki, fastball up and away for ball 1. Braves just 2 hits tonight, a double for Glowacki in the 4th and a single for Jared Poland back in the 2nd. Other than that, the Firebirds pitching staff has been spectacular. 1-0 from the right-hander. Fastball paints at the knees on the inner half, and it's 1-1. Firebirds have gotten plenty of offensive run support. 3 long balls tonight for the Birds Club. Solo shot for Rob Emery in the 2nd, a long ball by Zach Britton in the 3rd, and then a 2-run blast by Trevor Niscara in the 6th. 1-1 the count to Glowacki, the pitch. Fastball fouled out of play, and it's 1-2. It'll be 4, 5, and 6 in this inning for the Braves, with Beloso and Poland to follow. No one warming up in the Orleans bullpen. Looks like Kelly Nicholson going to try and extend McLaughlin just a touch. Right-hander from BYU set at the chest, first base side of the rubber. 1-2. Breaking ball skips in low, blocked down by Emery, and it's 2-2.
Well, just a little bit of a Firebird alumni update. We're just talking about Adam Hazley. Just hit his 2nd home run of the season in a Phillies uniform. Again, former Firebird from 2016.
This kid rakes, evidently.
Yeah, well, it just happened. Our good friend BK was just on the air earlier. Just showed me.
Slightly open stance from Glowacki on the right side, 2-2. Fastball just missed up and away, and the count runs full.
So there you go. You go from playing at Eldridge Park to playing in the big leagues.
Now, it's not advisable to hit a home run to dead center. It's been done by 2 people, evidently.
Learning things out here.
Payoff pitch. Fastball hit on the screws. Past Tanner Murray into left center field for a base hit. Glowacki trots around the first base bag. He'll put it on the brakes. Just the 3rd hit tonight for the Bourne Braves. The 2nd from Jimmy Glowacki. And a leadoff man for Bourne in the 7th.
Yeah, it seems like he's the Firebird killer so far in this ball game. And there's always seems like, obviously, any team you play, there's always one guy who just has their number. And, well, it's been Glowacki tonight. You mentioned his 2nd hit. Hit a double back in the 4th. Nash singles here in the 7th.
It's now Cade Beloso, first baseman from LSU, steps in from the left side. First pitch from McLaughlin. Fastball popped out of play for strike 1. Firebirds tonight, 5 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. The Birds have left 3 runners on base. The Bourne Braves, no runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on. It's Glowacki aboard at first, nobody down in the top of the 7th. McLaughlin set 0-1. Fastball corked out to deep right field. Britton on the run, this ranging near the foul pole, and it just trickles foul. Did not have the distance for a home run. Was a surefire extra base hit, but just trickled foul.
Yeah, but for sure going to be some trouble. Out of right field for Zach Britton. Would have rolled up on the hill if it was able to hook in fair ground, then go foul. Would have ran up on the hill.
So Beloso has to walk 90 feet back. Was already at the first base bag. Now he has to walk from first base to home plate, pick up the bat from the left side. We're joined by a fantastic bug here that's having its way.
There's a big bug. Hit my hand before. Now it's here in the broadcast.
Firebirds leading the Braves 5-0 with nobody out. 0-2. Fastball popped into shallow left field. Third baseman McCabe going out. This drifting near foul ground. And lands left of the third base line, and we'll do it again.
Now, it's too bad our friend BK just left because
He's scared of bugs.
No, we're talking about wildlife.
Ah.
And I'm just going to mention him off air, but there was a skunk in Chatham near the broadcast table when they were broadcasting in Chatham one time. And they got some credit from online on Twitter because they broadcasted through a skunk being in the area. Everybody else is running around. But the skunk was there, and BK and Logan and Hannah, the media team, they outlasted it.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's impressive. Runner on first, nobody out. Peloso back in 0-2. Breaking ball ties up Peloso, ring him up, strike 3. Third strikeout of the night for Reed McLaughlin, the 9th for Firebirds pitching, and there's one down in the top of the 7th.
Well, Peloso just has had it all. He tosses the batting helmet on the on-deck circle. Again, his second strikeout of this ball game, and just a nasty pitch by McLaughlin. Unable to hang on.
So Poland, the DH from Louisville, checks in from the right side. McLaughlin's first pitch, breaker at the knees, called strike 1. Jake Eater pitched the first 5 scoreless for the Birds. Southpaw from Vanderbilt just surrendered 2 hits and struck out 6. McLaughlin came on for that 6th inning. Retired the Braves in order fanning a couple. Has a runner on first with 1 away in the top of the 7th. 0-1 count. Breaking ball misses low, and it's 1-1. Poland, one of the 3 hits tonight for Bourne. First base knock of the evening for the Braves back in the 2nd. 2 singles and a double for Bourne, but it's been 3 home runs for the Firebirds tonight that have separated this club. McLaughlin set first base side of the rubber, 1-1. Fastball paints the outside corner, and it's 1-2. McLaughlin just throwing strikes. That one 88 on the gun. That nips the outside corner. Poland, a 2-way player for the Cardinals. Hit 290 so far this summer. Just 211 this past spring. 1-2 coming. Fastball chopped back up the middle. Could be 2. Murray shifts towards the middle of the infield. Toss it to Whitcomb onto first. Not in time. So Tanner Murray continues to display the flashy leather. Got to that ball up the middle. Flipped it with the glove to Whitcomb. But Poland, too much speed, beats it out on the 6-4 fielder's choice.
Yeah, I do think that, you know, a couple of shortstops in this league, even how great they are, might not been able to make that play. Again, a hard hit ball up the middle. Murray just gets to it, then a backhand flip over to second base side of Whitcomb. But you mentioned just the speed from Poland down the first base line. They can't turn 2, and with this Firebirds defense, we have seen some crazy plays up the middle between either McCabe or Whitcomb Zamora, who's ever out there as shortstop in second.
First pitch to Kyler Fedko. Fastball fouled back to the screen for strike 1. Seen the Birds do it a couple times this summer, turn some impressive double plays. Got the Murray clan fired up nonetheless, despite the fielder's choice.
It's like one of those times, anytime he touches the baseball, can hear some roaring.
Fedko 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out swinging back in the 2nd. 0-1. Fastball lifted into right center field. Zach Daniels shifted perfectly. Ranges 1 step to his left and makes the grab. So the Braves pick up their 3rd hit of the night but are unable to score. Bourne scores no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. After 6.5, it's the Firebirds 5, the Braves nothing, and it's time for everybody's favorite game except for Scotty Gage, because we always find him, seeking Scott.
That was the best lead-in of the summer, besides the finding Scotty around the yard. Hey, all right. Here's the clue for today's Seeking Scott. Where Zach is, I am.
Whoa, this is unfair. There are 3 Zachs on the field for the first time in a ball game this summer. Well, I shouldn't say that, at the same time this summer.
Come on, where Zach is, I am.
So you're either in left field, center, or right. You're in the outfield. How does that sound? Is that a fair answer?
Warmer.
Are you in the first base dugout? Because all 3 of them are there right now.
I'm not in the first base dugout. Where Zach is, I am.
Are you now in the on-deck circle? Because Zach Daniels is now in the on-deck circle.
Do you see me in the on-deck circle?
There are 3 Zachs, man. I don't know if you're invisible. You've got magical powers.
To win this, which is awesome.
I'm putting shenanigans on this one. Major asterisk. So we have Scotty Gage, left center field, near the 350 sign, where Zach I am, yada, yada, yada. There's 3 of them, so you planted yourself in between where 2 of them were.
Exactly. Yeah, in the outfield, because we've got Zach Kokoska, and then Zach Daniels, and then Zach Britton. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool. 3 Zachs in the outfield. Zach Kokoska told me yesterday they were supposed to be that way. He said, oh, we got the cube in the outfield. You had to know it was coming at some point. So now here we are officially. It was supposed to be yesterday, but here we are today. 3 Zachs in the outfield and 1 Scotty.
Was it a four-man outfield? You put yourself in there?
Dude, okay, I'll play outfield. Get 2 more Scotties on the team. Sign us for
well,
a late contract.
Quinn Jameson, who I think might be the greatest hype man on the face of the earth, close friend of yours, Scotty. He said you can play everywhere and add to this Birds lineup, who doesn't need too much help tonight.
I'd be more than happy to be the 4th outfielder for the Firebirds, the one watching. There's 3 Zachs and a Scott man out here.
Scotty, I have an idea. We're going to get a Cape League media, I guess, competition in softball, and then you can play outfield. How about that?
Whoa. All right. Yeah. Book it. You're on that, Thomas. You're on it.
I'll
Text everybody.
I'll pencil you in. How about that?
Okay. All right. Yep. Oh, yeah, baby.
We'll put you right where one of the Zachs are as well, either 1, 2, or 9. So whichever position in the order you want, we'll put you there.
Wow. Hit me lead off. I'll go lead off. It's a good day. Are you kidding? I just got a roster spot. Thanks, Thomas.
Roster spot for Scotty Gage and a roster spot for Braxton Roxby, set to make his Cape Cod Baseball League debut with the Bourne Braves. Right-hander from Pittsburgh, Johnstown, comes into a 5-0 ball game with the Firebirds on top of the Braves as we head to the home half of the 7th at Eldridge Park. It'll be 9-1-2 for Orleans. The Zach trio, Zach Daniels, Zach Kokoska, and Zach Britton. Right-hander set from the first base side, first pitch. Fastball cut on and missed for strike 1. So for the first time this summer, the Firebirds have 3 Zachs in the outfield. And now for the first time this summer in this inning, the Firebirds will have 3 consecutive Zachs hit. Center fielder from Tennessee back in from the right side. Right-hander Roxby rocks and fires 0-1. Fastball nips the outside corner. It's 0-2. Daniels 0 for 2 tonight and has struck out swinging twice. Now Roxby, a strikeout pitcher this past spring, 67 Ks in 56 1/3. 6'3", 225-pound hurler comes set, the 0-2. Fastball runs low and it's 1-2. So a 95-mile-an-hour heater from Roxby on the last pitch. Let's give it the final line on Carl Johnson. He just lasted 1 inning. Got tagged for 2 runs, both earned on 2 hits, 1 walk, and 1 K. So the 4th pitcher of the night for the Bourne Braves is Braxton Roxby, trying to keep the Birds off the board. So he's not from Pittsburgh, but he's from Pittsburgh, Johnstown. Originally from Windber, Pennsylvania, rather. 1-2 popped out of play, and it's 2-2.
Again, it's cool about the Cape how you see a lot of these guys from schools you may have never heard of.
So 1-2 the count to the 9-hole hitter Daniels, and now Roxby steps off the rubber. Sweet gold locks coming out of the red cap for Roxby on the mound. Jeff Pramel sports a similar look. A little darker hair for Pramel. Daniels from the right side, 2-2, fastball cut on a miss, strike 3. 3rd strikeout for Zach Daniels tonight. He sports the hat trick and walks back to the first base dugout. There's 1 away.
Well, it's been tough for Zach because he's starting to get things going, and then all of a sudden, you have 2 days off. Going back to, it was a pinch runner, obviously a key pinch runner in that Katuitt game, but Katuitt the game before he was 2 for 3 with a run with a pair of singles and some well-worked ABs as well, and you have too many off days, you lose your rhythm.
So now Zach Kokoska steps in for the 4th time tonight. Takes a breaking ball that's downstairs for ball 1. Kokoska, quiet night, 0 for 3. Rare to see that for the left fielder from Kansas State. Now the Firebirds have not been quiet tonight. The Birds have scored 5 runs on 8 hits, including 3 home runs. 1-0 the count to Kokoska. Here's the pitch. Fastball slicing down the left side and out of play, and it's 1-1. So some Firebirds history, at least in 2019 tonight. 3 Zacks in the outfield, 3 Zacks will hit in this inning.
And Scotty wants 3 Scotties.
Scotty wants 3 Scotties, that's correct. That's what he did say. 1-1 the count to Kokoska. Roxby's 1-1. Breaking ball chopped back to the screen, and it's 1-2. Some action in the Orleans bullpen. A right-hander starting to get loose for the Firebirds. Orleans sporting a 5-run lead over the Braves with 1 away in the last of the 7th. Firebirds bullpen, of course, fresh after a couple of rainouts the last 2 nights. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses low and away. It's 2-2. 96 on the gun from Roxby.
You can hear Roxby, a little extra oomph on it, then he spins around. He's throwing hard on the mound. You can tell he's a max effort guy.
A starter this past spring at Pittsburgh Johnstown. 11 appearances, all starts. 2-2, breaking ball cut on a miss, strike 3. Back-to-back Ks for Braxton Roxby in his Cape debut, and there's 2 away. So now Zach Kokoska, who's 2 for 3 with a home run and 2 RBIs. Rather, 1. We'll dig in. And scored a run as well. Flew out his last time up. Righty on lefty matchup. Here's the first pitch. Fastball runs low for ball 1. Firebirds on the mound have been great. 9 Ks for the Orleans pitching staff. But at the dish, Firebirds have struck out just 6 times. We've seen as Orleans has started to get better at the plate, they put the ball in play more. Simple recipe for Kelly Nicholson's club. Roxby set, first base side of the rubber. 1 out. Breaking ball up and away. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Britton this summer now hitting above the 330 mark with all 3 of his home runs and all 16 RBIs coming off right-handed pitching. Talk about a split. 2-0. Fastball, home run, hack, and a miss, and it's 2-1.
Yeah, you can tell he wanted that pitch. Already 1 home run in the ball game back in the 3rd. He's pulled a lot of those home run balls down the right field line. Has a couple close calls as well here at Eldridge Park. So
now,
could have more than what he has.
Now the only other evening that Zach Britton has hit a home run, he hit 2 in the same game. The only time the Firebirds have had a multi-home run performance this summer.
So maybe he's due for another here.
And that would be the Firebirds' 4th home run of the night. It was 6 days ago when Britton had a multi-home run performance against YD. 2-1. Breaking ball chased out of the zone, and it's 2-2. So I do have an update for you as well. Stu Murray has now made it to Eldridge Park. Probably his 2nd or 3rd stop of the night at least. Not the 1st. 2 down in the last of the 7th with the Birds on top of the Braves 5-0. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball spiked low. Ricochets off the left arm of Jackson Greer, the catcher, and the count runs full.
See a pitch like that in the Atlantic League, you could steal first base, as we were talking the last broadcast. Seems like every time when there's nobody on base, I just think about stealing first base. Not sure I like that.
I don't know how I feel about it. It changes the integrity of the game of baseball.
Well, it just makes a catcher work 10 times harder.
Well, I would swing on any wild pitcher to start running.
That's what we said on a drop 3rd strike.
Oh, I intentionally swing.
Yeah, I would.
Take one for the team. Let the average go down. 3-2 the count with 2 away. Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball on the inside corner, called strike 3. Braxton Roxby, the right-hander from Pittsburgh, Jamestown, in his Cape Cod Baseball League debut, strikes out the side. After 7 complete innings at Eldridge Park, the Firebirds lead the Braves 5-0 And after Roxby's start on the mound, let's check out some other All-Stars for the Orleans Firebirds. Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball in there, called strike 3. Jared Schuster freezes Andrew Eister. Trani chokes up on the bat. 1-1 from the southpaw. Breaking ball shot into shallow right field. The right fielder Cabrera coming on. This bounces down for a hit. Aviti is in from third. 2-2. Fastball at the knees. Ring him up. Strike 3. Skiro paints the outside part of the plate. Top of the 8th, we go at Eldridge Park. The Firebirds on top of the Braves, 5-0. The right-hander from BYU, Reed McLaughlin, back out there for his 3rd inning of work. First pitch to Jackson Greer. Breaking ball waved out and missed for strike 1. It'll be 8-9-1 in this inning for the Bourne Braves. Jackson Greer, Brendan Rivoli, and Cody Morris set. Greer, the catcher from East Tennessee, 0 for 2 tonight. 0-1. Breaking ball skips low, and it's 1-1. Now, Greer's struggles continue. He's 0 for his last 14. Now, here's the interesting case. He started the summer with the Harwich Mariners. Went 4 for 10 and even hit a solo home run. 1-1 to Greer. Breaking ball runs low. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. But Greer's a West Division All-Star. So he starts the summer in the East Division, goes over to the West, is only hitting about .215, but makes the West Division squad. Funny how the game of baseball works. 2-1. Fastball waved out and missed. It's 2-2.
We also actually played one game for YD, went 1 for 3. So, played for 3 teams in 1 year.
3 teams.
You don't see that very often. You're talking about a 4-year guy.
Christian Malfetta on
Malfetta,
Brewster.
that's right.
Now we can ask BK if he knows the answer too. 2-2. Fastball roped over the head of Whitcomb. This gets down and splits Daniels and Britton. Taking the turnaround first is Greer. He'll put on the brakes. And it's just the 4th hit of the night for the Braves. A leadoff base knock for the 2nd consecutive frame.
Well, I think I know what he's going to say because there's a broadcaster from Brewster. And
Can you repeat the question, please?
I'll phrase it for you. So Christian Malfetta for the Brewster Whitecaps, a rising redshirt senior out of Stanford, is playing in his 4th summer on the Cape.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen 3 summers before. That's not out of the question. It's a little rare. But is Malfetta the first ever Cape player to play 4 summers? First pitch to Rivoli, slicing down the left side for strike 1.
Is it yes or no question?
We don't know the answer.
Yeah.
We're giving a hypothetical here.
Yeah.
So think about this for a second. And we can now invite Stu Murray to the party to try and answer this as well. We have a predicament.
Now I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
So the qualifications for this is you have to be talented as a rising redshirt freshman or sophomore. 0-1 to Rivoli. Slicing ball hit over the head of Murray, down for a base hit. Back-to-back base knocks for Greer and Rivoli in the 8-9 spots in this Braves lineup, getting the party started for Bourne. So Christian Malfetta, a 4-year Cape player. We're wondering if it's the first ever 4-year Cape Cod player. Now, you have to either be talented as a rising sophomore or talented rising redshirt freshman and not get drafted as a junior. Maybe get hurt somewhere in between to redshirt along the way on the backside and play 4. Now, Stu Murray said it's a record that'll never be broken. I like that. First pitch to Cody Morris, sad. Fastball sky down the left side for strike 1. Now, hypothetically, you could be granted a 6th year of eligibility and play on the Cape 5 times. That would be impressive.
Ethan Paul probably could have been here for 4 years if he wanted to because he didn't sign twice.
BK bringing up Ethan Paul, former Commodore. Former Firebird was here for 2 years.
If Stu Murray has eligibility, he'll play on the Cape 22 times. 0-1. Fastball taken on the inside corner. It's 0-2. Firebirds lead the Braves 5-0. But the Braves offense starting to come out late. 2 on with nobody out, and the leadoff man, Cody Morissette, batting from the left side. Boy, would Reed McLaughlin love a double play right here. McLaughlin set the 0-2. Fastball popped a mile high behind the pitcher's mound. Shortstop Tanner Murray coming in. Infield fly on. Murray makes the one-handed squeeze for the first out of the frame.
And just to close this up, I was telling, BK before, he knew where I was going. A broadcaster for Brewster was there for 5 years.
Wow, that's some sort of
5
record,
years.
too.
Yeah. He started off doing just small stuff. Our friend Javik from Wareham, we could see that from him.
Javik Blake?
Javik, sorry.
Javik.
Javik.
Chances he's listening to the Birds Broadcast Network right now.
Slim.
Probably because he has a game of his own. Doubleheader at Falmouth. Wareham took game 1. Entrenched in game 2. Xavier Warren digs in with 1 away. First pitch, fastball misses in for ball 1. Warren, a switch-hitting third baseman from Central Michigan. 0 for 3 tonight. He's just 1 for 11 against the Birds this summer, despite hitting .280. Runners on first and second with 1 away. The 1-0. Fastball hums up and in. It's 2 balls and no strikes. So a right-hander continuing to get loose in the Firebirds bullpen. Kelly Nicholson on the top step of the Orleans dugout. In his normal spot, all the way on the left rail. Rivoli off first, Greer on second with 1 away. 2 out. Fastball dots the outside corner. It's 2-1.
Absolutely love the Firebirds coaches pullovers too, by the way. Trying to find a way I can get one of those.
I think they exist.
Slim to none, though.
No, they exist at the bookstore, or the home plate shop, if you will. Let's call it the Firebirds bookstore.
Firebirds bookstore.
Why not?
Check out some history books as well about the Birds.
McLaughlin set first base side of the rubber, 2-1. Fastball once again catches the outside corner. It's 2-2.
Well, the cool thing, we're talking about history books now. At Katuitt, they have all the old programs out on a table. So you can grab a program from about 10 years ago because they just have extras laying around. They're just trying to get rid of them. I actually found a couple of Firebirds programs from the early 2000s.
Wow. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball up and away. Almost runs to the catcher. Well, runs to the umpire. Mark Delaney behind the plate. But the catcher, Rob Emery, pulls it down. Firebirds sporting a 5-run cushion against the Bourne Braves. But Bourne trying to load the bases with their home run leader, Judd Fabian, waiting on deck. 3-2 the count to Warren. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball up and away, ball 4. So after a pair of hits for Bourne, McLaughlin issues the first free pass of the night for the Firebirds. And the bases are loaded with only 1 out, and Kelly Nicholson on his way to the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, Kelly Nicholson trotting out there, glances over towards the bullpen. And it looks like he'll go to the bullpen, but McLaughlin, again, asked to pitch on for a couple of innings. Was pretty good out there on the hill.
So McLaughlin gave the Birds a strong 6th and 7th. Ran out of a little bit of gas in the 8th, but held apart with the Firebirds leading the Braves 5-0. We'll step aside for a short break. You'll listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Eldridge Park. The Birds on top of the Braves 5-0 in the bottom of the 8th. But the bases are loaded for Bourne. So Zebulon Vermillion will come into the ball game for the Orleans Firebirds, and Kyle Hess will come on to pinch hit for Bourne. Left-handed swinger out of Pittsburgh. First pitch from Vermillion. Fastball right down Broadway for strike one. 94 on the radar gun. So Reed McLaughlin gave the Birds 2 strong innings. Could not get through his third. He departs after 2 1/3, gave up 3 hits, walked 1, and struck out 3. Responsible for everyone on base. 0-1. Fastball popped out of play, and it's 0-2. Another 94 heater from Vermillion, overpowering the bat of Hess. So an interesting move by Harvey Shapiro. Takes out Judd Fabian, who leads the Bourne Braves with 5 home runs this season, and puts in Kyle Hess, playing the matchups. Hess just batting .226 with 1 homer. Vermillion's 0-2. Breaking ball stays above the letters, and it's 1-2.
Could be one of those Scott Picker moves we saw earlier in the year with Brad Beasley, a guy who was batting .160 at the time, comes in for Noah Cardenas, who's batting over 300, and Beasley hits an RBI single.
So we'll see if there's a reason why we're behind the netting, and Harvey Shapiro standing down at third base. Vermillion's 1-2. Fastball taken low and away, and it's 2-2. So Vermillion sitting consistently 94 on the radar gun. Big right-hander out of Arkansas. 6'5", 220 pounds. His 7th appearance on the Cape. He's 1-0. 2-2. Fastball fouled back, and we'll do it again. Vermillion last pitched 6 days ago against the Armith Dennis Red Sox. The only time he's given up a run this summer. Got charged for 2 across an inning. Sporting the black leather on the left hand with Z-Man written across just above the webbing. 2-2. Fastball just missed off the plate, and the count runs full.
Good looking pitch there, but just missing. You can probably hear some of the Firebirds coaches saying, yeah, on the first base side, as they usually do.
Didn't get a yes, sir, from Kelly Nicholson, but it'll have to do. Here's the 3-2. Fastball up and away, ball 4. So the Firebirds issue their first 2 walks of the night, come at an inopportune time. That'll plate the first Braves run of the night as Jackson Greer comes in to score. The bases are still loaded with only 1 out, and the tying run will come to the plate in the form of Jimmy Glowacki.
Yeah, this is a dangerous time here for the Firebirds. Look like all was well, and they're cruising through this game, but a couple base hits and now walks have illed the Firebirds, and you mentioned tying run at the plate now.
Glowacki 2 for 3 tonight. First pitch, fastball up and in for ball 1. Glowacki has 2 of the 5 hits tonight for Bourne. A double in the 4th, a single just an inning ago. He's got 11 RBIs this summer. Looking to tack on a couple more and cut this deficit. Firebirds on top of Bourne 5-1. Bases loaded with only 1 away. 1-0, fastball poked into shallow center field. Second baseman Whitcomb leaps and makes the grab. So Shea Whitcomb takes away a bloop single from Jimmy Glowacki, keeps us at a 4-run game, and there's now 2 away.
Well, my first initial thoughts off that ball, that could be trouble. But Shea Whitcomb makes up some incredible ground. Again, he's playing almost towards the hole a little bit there. Comes out, the ball is pretty much hit above where the second base bag is. Comes up, leaps up in the air at the perfect time. It makes a game-saving catch almost in center field.
So now Cade Beloso will try and take advantage of the bases loaded opportunity. First pitch, fastball hit back to the screen for strike 1. Beloso 0 for 3 tonight with a pair of strikeouts. Struck out swinging his last time up, and that's what the Firebirds pitching staff have relied on tonight. 9 Ks for Orleans on the mound. 0-1 the count to Beloso. Just 1 home run this summer. Here it comes. Fastball hit past Vermillion into center field for a base hit. Rivoli's in from third. Chugging around the third base bag is Warren. Throw to the plate, not in time. 2 RBI single from Cade Beloso. Cuts the Birds lead in half. It's just 5-3 in the top of the 8th inning.
Well, that was a good throw from Hurtubise in center field. Almost able to nab the runner in Warren at home, but he get another Good runner over at second base, but again, that play by Whitcomb is even bigger now because Bourne with a base knock scores 2, and now it's only a 2-run ball game, tying run over at first base.
So not only, to your point, is the tying run on first base, the go-ahead run is at the plate. Firebirds led this ball game 5-0 coming into the inning, but the Braves have put up a 3 spot. Jared Poland, the DH, the 8th hitter in this inning. Connor Pellerin, the Birds' flame-throwing right-hander, starting to get loose in the Firebirds bullpen. And imagine Orleans would like him to get up a little quicker than probably anticipated tonight. Poland 1 for 3, a single back in the second. Braves have 3 hits in the inning. They just had 3 hits through the first 7 frames. First pitch to Poland. Fastball taken on the inside corner for strike 1. Beloso on at first after delivering a 2 RBI single. Kyle Hess, after an RBI walk, stands on second with 2 down. 0-1 the count to Poland. Here's the pitch. Fastball nips the outside corner. It's 0-2. So after a quick visit from Rob Emery, the Firebirds catcher, Zebulon Vermillion back in his normal form. We can close the final line on Reed McLaughlin. 2 1/3, 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Here's the 0-2. Fastball skied out to deep left field. Daniels ranging back, fielding for the fence. He has room and is able to make this grab just in front of the wall. Jared Poland gave it a ride to deep left field. Daniels retreated, was able to race it down for the final out of the inning. The Braves were able to score 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 runners left on base and make 1 loud final third out. So after 7.5, the Birds lead the Braves 5-3, and let's send it over to Scotty Gaines. Scotty?
I'm actually enjoying my time hanging out with the Murray family up here. You should. They're out of camera, so we're just gonna describe how amazing they are. But they're running 30 deep. The entire family's here. They've got like 4 different family friends that they all came together. They're living together right now. They went to Yarmouth. They went to the beach today. Tanner Murray is a guy that was formerly on Bird Bites at the Knack, and it's just so cool to talk with them and really spend time with them. And also something that's going to be pretty fun coming up next Friday now, a bit of an update. It was supposed to be Wednesday at Cook's Seafood, the 3rd edition of Lunches with Kelly and Lunches with the Birds. That's now going to be Friday because, as you guys know, the game that was rained out yesterday at Harwich, that was supposed to be played yesterday, is now going to be played at 4 p.m. here at Eldridge Park on Wednesday, and then there's going to be a 7 p.m. game against Harwich at Eldridge Park on Wednesday. They're playing them on Tuesday as well, so 3 straight games against Harwich next week. And we were going to do it Wednesday at noon, the next edition of Lunches with Kelly, but now we were going to do it on Friday because, as you know, in the Cape League, rain falls from the sky, you're not allowed to play baseball, and then you got to change things up. So a bit of an update there. I'm going to enjoy my time. You know, that's the best part about the Cape League. The families are all out here. It's really fun. It's really enjoyable. And okay, I had a bit of a heart attack watching that ball. Zach Daniels, come on, man, he stopped. I thought he was going to watch it go over the fence. Close one. Hey, you love that, right?
So Zach Daniels was able to race it down, and the Birds still lead the Bourne Braves 5-3 as we head to the last of the 8th at Eldridge Park. And Harvey Shapiro will make another pitching change. He'll go for the right-hander, Kerry Wright from Louisville. Wright to make his 4th appearance. He's 0-1 with a .675 ERA. Last pitch 3 nights ago against the YD Red Sox, a scoreless frame, and struck out 2. So that'll end the day for Broxton Roxby in his Cape Cod Baseball League debut. Pitched an inning and struck out the side. So Firebirds holding their breath after leading the Bourne Braves 5-0. It's now just a 5-3 ball game. So Max Troiani, Trevin Esquera, and Shea Whitcomb to bat in this frame. First pitch to Troiani. Fastball up and away for ball 1. Troiani 3 for 3 tonight. Tell me if you heard this one before with 3 singles. Right out of the windup, the 1-0. Fastball up and in. It's 2 balls and no strikes. So it's now Troiani's league-leading 13th multi-hit performance, and he continues to climb the charts in average. Now up to 365. 2-0 pitch. Fastball misses low and away. It's 2-1. Defensive change as well for the Bourne Braves. Kyle Hess will remain in the game. He'll play right field. Kyler Fedko shifts to center. 2-1 the count. Here's the offering. Fastball right down the chute. It's 2-2. Firebirds 5, Braves 3. Bottom half of the 8th at Eldridge Park. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the 2-2. Fastball runs low and in. Rather, the 3-2 runs low and in. Ball 4. And Trani reaches for the 4th time tonight.
Yeah, goal for Triani for the rest of the season, what he told me was that, he told us, I should say, he wants to get the strikeout and walks down to a 1 ratio.
And he said that was the rest of the summer moving forward, and he's done a good job. That maybe it'll even out.
Yeah.
All the way through.
Get close enough.
Trevin Esquera, the batter, first pitch, shows bunt, lays up the first base line, barehanded by right, soft toss over to first base. Sacrifice successful, 1-3 on your scorecard, advancing Max Triani 90 feet.
Well, good bunt there by Esquera, the guy that was swinging the hot bat, but again, the Firebirds just want at least get one more run to make it a little more comfortable for Heather Pellerin, who may come into this game in the 9th to close things out.
It's now Shea Whitcomb who made that great play on the bloop into shallow center to keep this at a 2-run ball game. Second baseman from UC San Diego, 1 for 3. A double back in the 4th inning. His lone hit tonight. 5-3 Orleans lead. Runner on second with 1 away. Right out of the stretch, set from the first base side. Here's the first pitch. Looping curveball. Nicks Shea Whitcomb on the left elbow. And he'll trot down to first base. The Birds have runners on first and second with 1 down.
Looked like a hit off the catcher, Greer, as well as now home plate umpire Mark Lenny calls to the dugout.
So Harvey Shapiro emerges out of the third base dugout along with the Braves training staff.
I think it hit deflection, maybe got it underneath the mask or something.
Yeah, it looks like it might have hit his jaw. A curveball that ricocheted off the left arm of Shea Whitcomb. And hit the left side of the face for Jackson Greer. So the Birds leading the Braves 5-3 and come to Eldridge Park. You're expecting to see quite the show, not just baseball. Seems to happen every night.
There's so many cool storylines game by game that we can throw out there. I mean, like the Murray family, for example, coming out in full force here at Eldridge Park.
Good news for the Orleans Firebirds, at least in one sense. The Harwich Mariners beating up on the YD Red Sox. That game has gone final. 9-4 in favor of the Mariners over the Red Sox. So that pulls Harwich 1 point shy of Orleans for the 3rd spot in the East, but keeps both YD and Chatham in with striking distance for Orleans. Bottom 2 teams in the East Division beat the top 2 teams tonight. Go figure.
That's baseball for you.
Now in the West, maybe a little more than what you're accustomed to seeing. Katuitt Cavaliers beating up on the Hyannis Harbor Hawks 14-4. And the Falmouth Commodores looking like they might sweep a doubleheader against Wareham. Team Orleans will see tomorrow.
Here come the Commodores.
So Jackson Greer appears to be okay. He'll stay in this ball game. Birds have 2 on with 1 away. In the last of the 8th, on top of the Braves, 5-3.
Yeah, Greer watches a lot of hockey, stays in the ball game.
So Eddie McCabe, the third baseman from Georgetown, 0 for 3 tonight with 3 ground-out sticks in. Boy, would the Braves take a ground-out right here and try and turn 2 and get out of the jam. Right checks on the runner at second. Here's the first pitch. Fastball low and in for ball 1. Rare to see Eddie struggle. He's reached base in 10 straight games. That's in jeopardy right here. He's hitting .310 at home as well. Just a $174 on the road. Here's the 1-0. Fastball slicing down the right side and out of play. And it's 1-1. Now you can throw the arbitrary stats out the window. This kid is made for these moments. Ready for another stat as I say that. Hits .316 with runners in scoring position. Has an insurance tally on second base in the form of Max Troiani. Shea Whitcomb aboard at first. Right set at the belt. Here's the 1-1. Fastball up and away. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Tanner Murray, the shortstop from UC Davis, waits on Zach. McCabe can extend this frame. Birds have scored 5 runs on 8 hits, 1 error, and 3 runners left on base. For the Braves, it's 3 runs on 6 hits, no errors, and 6 runners left on. 2-1 off the dish. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Wright has struggled with command this summer. 8 walks and 5 2/3. Has hit 1 and walked 1 in this frame as well. 3-1. Fastball low and away, ball 4. Second walk of the inning for Kerry Wright. That'll load the bases, and Tanner Murray will stroll to the dish. Right as Harvey Shapiro comes out of the third base dugout.
We'll have to see what Shapiro will do here. Takes a slow walk, and he'll go to the bullpen.
So Shapiro will make the call to the pen, and he will go for the 6th different arm tonight for the Bourne Braves. Firebirds lead the Braves 5-3 with the bases full and 1 down in the bottom half of the 8th. We'll be right back on the Birds Broadcast Network. Firebirds 5, Braves 3 as we welcome you back to Eldridge Park. Orleans with the bases loaded and only 1 down. And Harvey Shapiro will make the move to the pen. He gets Sean Harney, the right-hander from UMass Amherst, set to make his 7th appearance of the summer in a huge spot. Just a 2-run ball game at Eldridge Park. And Tanner Murray, the shortstop from UC Davis, batting from the right side. First pitch from Harney. Breaking ball misses up and away, called ball 1. So Kerry Wright ineffective tonight for the Bourne Braves. Just lasted a third of an inning. No hits, no runs at the moment. Responsible for everyone aboard. 2 walks and no Ks. So Murray, who delivered a clutch 2 RBI single against the Catuit Kettleers to force a 6-6 tie last week, will try and tack on an insurance tally. 1-0. Fastball catches the outside corner. It's 1-1. The Murray cheering section in full force still at Eldridge Park. Along with Kelly Nicholson, an honorary member of the clan. Eddie McCabe aboard at first, Shea Whitcomb off as second, and Max Strani 90 feet away. Harney, the right-hander, set at the bell. 1-1 to Murray. Fastball runs low and away. It's 2 balls and 1 strike.
I think we both would like to join this clan that's going on.
Well, Scotty Gaines was able to mooch a free T-shirt off the Murray clan the last night at Eldridge Park. It's a pretty good deal. Shortstop from UC Davis hitting in the 7th spot tonight. 0 for 2. 2-1 coming. Fastball fouled back off the mid of Greer, and it's 2-2. Murray 9 RBIs this summer in 22 games. But the biggest number of all of that, he hits .333 with runners in scoring position. Has the bases full with 1 down in the last of the 8th. Birds on top of the Braves 5-3. Firebirds looking to take the season series. They lead this thing 2-1 overall. It's like the opening night showdown 2-0. And the first game of a doubleheader. 2-2, chopped to the third baseman Xavier Warren. And kicks in foul ground. And we'll do it again.
Would have been a tough play for Warren, the third baseman, and even that was scooped up by him. Could have been trouble. Could only maybe have gone 1, and the Firebirds maybe get a run.
So Murray takes the long stroll back to the batter's box. With a right-hander continuing to toss in the Firebirds bullpen. You'd have to imagine it's Connor Pellerin going to come on for Orleans. He's become the Firebirds' closer the last couple nights. Corners off the line for Bourne. The infield back for 2. Outfield straight away with one down. Here's the 2-2. Fastball slapped to the left side, could be 2. Fielded by Glowacki, shovels it over to Morissette. On to first, not in time. Tanner Murray hustles out, and the Birds take advantage. Orleans scores another on a fielder's choice. It's 6-3 here in the 8th, thanks to hard hustle from Tanner Murray down the first base line.
And that's the way it goes sometimes. Hard and hustle beats out the throw, and the Firebirds get a run here late in this ball game.
So Orleans tacks on an insurance run, and now make it a 3-run cushion for the Birds. And Rob Emery, the catcher from San Francisco, will dig in once again. Emery, a solo shot back in the 2nd inning. His 2nd blast of the summer, quiet since, pair of strikeouts on the board. Murray aboard at first, Whitcomb 90 feet away. There's 2 down in the last of the 8th. First pitch to Emery. Breaking ball skips low for ball 1. Firebirds 9-3-3 against the West Division this summer. Looking for win number 10. They've taken advantage of some weaker opponents. Just like the Bourne Braves trying to hold on. 1-0. Fastball, home run, hack and a miss. And it's 1-1. Now for the Braves in the top of the 9th, it'll be the bottom third of their lineup. Kyler Fedko, Jackson Greer, and Brendan Rivoli. Now don't count Bourne out just yet. It was Greer and Rivoli who started the 3-run frame just an inning ago. Righty-on-righty matchup with 2 away. Harney checks on the runner at first. And now Emery calls time. So the first 6 innings of this ball game, about an hour 15. The last 2.5, about an hour 15. 1-1. Fastball chopped back to the screen, just right of Brendan King, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, just going back to that Brewster game where it was about, an hour and a half to play 3 innings?
Yes. Hour and a half to play 3. What a night.
And then we still play it in probably just over 3 hours, the rest of the ball game.
2 hours, 58 minutes that evening. And wow, the Katuitt Cavaliers have clinched a playoff spot on July 19th. What a day. 2-2, runner going, 1-2 rather. And the catcher Greer is going to eat the baseball. Murray swipes second. His 4th bag of the summer. And the count now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Rob Emery. So when you have Hyannis, and they beat Hyannis tonight to take the season series, Katuitt Cavaliers the best team in the West Division, 17-13-3, 37 points. Hyannis now 6-25-1. A 24-point discrepancy. 30-plus games in. So that'll do it for the Cotuit Kettleers, claiming the first playoff spot of 2019. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball chopped foul down the first base side, and we'll do it again.
It's crazy to see Murray clinch a playoff spot, as you mentioned. Almost feels a lot like the MLB today. In the West Division, I should say. High discrepancy between the top teams and the bottom teams.
Two runners in scoring position with 2 away in the last of the 8th. 2-2 to Emery. Breaking ball clobbered down the left field line. Rivoli giving chase. This one's going to land in fair ground. Wick comes in from third. Behind him is Murray. And retreating back to first base with a 2-run single is Rob Emery. Tack on another 2 for the Birds. It's 8-3 here in the 8th.
Have a day, Rob Emery. Had the solo blast in the 2nd and a key 2 RBI single here in the 8th inning. Has now put them up right where they were before at a 5-run lead here in the 8th.
Firebirds have put on a 3 spot in the 8th inning in response to the Birds' 3-run, the Braves' 3-run frame, rather that is, in the top half of this inning. It's now Zach Daniels, 0 for 3 tonight with a hat trick, trying to avoid the golden sombrero. Harney set at the belt. First pitch to Daniels. Breaking ball misses above the letters for ball 1. So now the Braves are going to need much more than the bottom 3 hitters in their lineup. They trail by 5 with 2 away in the bottom of the 8th. So now remember that if Tanner Murray doesn't hustle down the first base line, none of this happens. 1-0. Fastball corked down the right side, but ranging foul. And Daniels unloads on a baseball. Then if you're teaching at Nauset Middle School at this hour, look out.
Yeah, watch out and watch out for your cars down there. That one had some distance on it and barely even reached the barrel of the ball.
One and one the count to Daniels with Emery off first and 2 down. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball clobbered back and out of play, and it's 1-2. So Daniels putting together a better at-bat than the first 3. And they're going to say catcher's interference. So it looked like Daniels' bat might have grazed the catcher's mitt of Greer, and in fact it did. So Daniels the beneficiary. He'll trot down to first. Emery moves to second, and now the Birds have 2 on and 2 away, and Jacob Hurtubise is his first licks of the night, who came in as a defensive replacement. So Hurtubise, the center fielder from Army, digs in the first pitch. Breaking ball off the dish for ball 1. Hurtubise came into this ball game just in the top half of this frame. Came on for defense, batting .241 this summer with 1 RBI. 1-0 count to the Birds' leadoff man. Harney set, right-hander rocks and fires 1-0. Fastball above the helmet. It's 2 balls and no strikes. So Mr. Firebird having his own fun near Nauset Middle School down the right field line. He's saying he's hungry.
He's hungry.
He wants some more runs.
We're all hungry.
Daniels aboard at first. Emery off of second. 2-0 to Hurtubise. Fastball popped foul and out of play. It's 2-1.
Well, I mentioned earlier, Hurtubise, according to Cale Nicholson, is going to put a lot of baseballs over in that lot of trees just across Route 20 and on the third base side.
Two and one, the count to Hurtubise. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball fisted down the left side. Jamie Quinn puts on his best dancing shoes to get out of the way. It's 2-2.
See, Ryan Erickson's been going for the balls. Cute, just get out of the way.
You're trying to avoid the embarrassment, I think. It's high risk, high reward.
It is.
You make the play, everyone says, you know what, you're an absolute legend. Problem is, you miss the ball, you look like an absolute fool. 2-2 the count with 2 down. The Birds leading The Braves 8-3 here in the 8th. Firebirds have scored 3 runs in the frame. New Orleans runs have come in bunches tonight. 1 in each of the first 3 innings. They scored 2 in the 6th, and now 3 in the 8th. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball poked behind the pitcher's mound. Shortstop Klowenke coming over, makes the grab, and the side is retired. But Orleans tacks on 3 more here in the 8th. Firebirds score 3 runs on just 1 hit, 1 error, and they leave 2 runners left on base. Firebirds will look out to close the season series against the Bourne Braves on a high note. It's Orleans 8, Bourne 3. We'll head to the top of the 9th at Eldridge Park. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Welcome back to Eldridge Park. The Firebirds looking to cap off their 16th win of the summer. First pitch from Zebulon Vermillion to Kyler Fedko, lined up the first base side. Fielded by Trevin Esquera. Underhand flip to Vermillion for the first out of the ninth. Firebirds leading the Braves 8-3, thanks to 3 insurance runs in the last half inning. Orleans has had the offense all night long from the get-go. They scored a run in the first, another in the second on a solo shot by Rob Emery. Zach Britton, his 3rd home run of the summer in the 3rd inning. Then a 2-run blast from Trevin Esquera. First pitch from Vermillion, fastball right down the chute for strike 1. Then the Braves responded with 3 runs of their own in the top half of the 8th. Orleans answered with 3 in the bottom half. 0-1. Fastball runs low and in. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Greer 1 for 3 tonight. A single his last time up. One of 6 hits for the Bourne Braves. Righty on righty matchup with 1 away. The 1-1. Fastball taken below the knees. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. So Brendan Rivoli, the left fielder from Virginia, waits on deck. But the Braves trying to avoid falling to the Firebirds. 3-1 in the season series. 2-1, breaking ball corked down the left side, and it's 2-2. So it was a rough first inning from Vermillion. Didn't get charged with any of it. And all goes on the line of Reed McLaughlin. Gets tagged for 3 runs after Vermillion came in with the bases full. Vermillion winds and fires, 2-2. Looping curveball above the letters, and the count runs full. Firebirds looking to climb the East Division standings tonight. Both Chatham and YD fell. Birds just 7 points shy of Chatham for the East Division lead. Looking to pick up another 2 more as Orleans already with more wins than all of last summer. 14 games to go after tonight. Payoff pitch. Breaking ball up and away, ball 4. So Greer works a 1-out walk, and that potentially sets up a game-ending double play.
Well, it's something we've seen throughout this season. Again, just the defense has been slick up the middle. I mentioned the double play. Not the first time we would have seen maybe a game end with a double play.
Greer's on first, Rivoli in from the left side. Righty on lefty matchup, first pitch. Fastball slides down the left side and out of play for strike 1. Only got aboard his last time up, a single in the 8th. Again, the Braves just scored 3 runs an inning ago, but their offense might be a little too late tonight. Bourne has struggled at the dish in scoring runs. They're 10th in the league, averaging just 3.6 per contest. Here's the 0-1. Fastball up and in. It's 1-1. Rivoli just trying to get on base, and he struggled with that this summer. Just a .184 OBP in his first 20 games. Chokes up on the bat from the left side, the 1-1. Fastball off the dish, it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Nobody warming up in the Firebirds bullpen. This is Zebulon Vermillion's game. Orleans trying to save a couple of arms. They've only used 3 tonight so far. Jake Eater, the first 5, all of shutout baseball, including 6 strikeouts. Reed McLaughlin, 2 1/3, got tagged for 3 runs. Here's the 2-1. Fastball hit back to the screen. It's 2-2. So Vermillion trying to compete on the bump. 25 pitches through an inning plus, just 14 strikes and 11 balls. Bourne 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 error. And 6 runners left on. 2-2, fastball misses off the dish, and the count runs full. Firebirds tonight, 8 runs on 9 hits, 1 error, and 5 runners left on. Birds looking for win number 16 of this 2019 campaign and make it back-to-back victories. Vermillion set, first base side of the rubber. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball up in the zone, cut on and miss, strike 3. Hard heater from Vermillion, 91 on the gun, and the Braves are down to their final out.
Yeah, Zebulon goes upstairs with the fastball. Greer and now Rivoli working full counts against Zebulon after Fedko swung at the first pitch. And Zebulon, after issuing a walk to Greer, holds on and fires a good pitch right at the letters. Rivoli just can't catch up.
So it all falls on to Cody Morissette, who's 0 for 4 tonight with a strikeout. First pitch, fastball dots the outside corner for strike 1. Morissette this summer, 0 for 10 against the Firebirds with 5 Ks. Vermillion still rocking the hard heater late in the 9th. Braves down to their final out, 0-1. Fastball catches the outside corner once again. It's 0-2.
Well, to see if he goes with the fastball. Will he just throw it all out here? Like a Justin Verlander fastball gets faster as the game goes on.
Firebirds 8, Braves 3. 2 away in the top of the 9th. Vermillion set, here's the 0-2. Fastball poked to the left side. Shortstop Murray comes on, strong throw to first base, and the ball game is over. The Firebirds offense strikes early and often, putting themselves out in front of the Braves 5-0, and the Birds tack on some insurance tallies late to beat the Bourne Braves 8-3 at Eldridge Park.
Yeah, it was the Firebirds really doing it all, and the bats got the Firebirds going. Obviously, Jake Eater pitch was fantastic today. Pitched an absolute gem for the Birds, a game that they needed. But it was the bats as well, as I mentioned, scoring 3 runs each in the first 3 innings, a run in each one, and then a scare-up 2-run blast, and then a 3-run 8th inning to follow up after the Bourne Braves put up all 3 of their runs in the top half of this inning. So the Firebirds showing some resiliency here in Redshirt Friday at Eldridge Park.
Your totals for tonight: Bourne scores 3 runs on 6 hits, 1 error, and 7 runners left on base. Orleans 8 runs on 9 hits, 1 error, and 5 runners left on. Jake Eater, the winning pitcher tonight, He advances to 1-0. Colby Dunlop falls to 0-2 in a game that took 2 hours and 44 minutes at Eldridge Park. As Thomas, the Firebirds scored early, they scored often, and the bullpen held on just enough at the end.
Yeah, it was good to see Reed McLaughlin and Zebulon Vermillion getting some work here for the Firebirds. McLaughlin was fantastic early on, but they ran into some trouble, and then Zebulon Vermillion coming in to shut the door on the Braves. And if the Firebirds had scored those 3 runs in the 8th inning, we would have seen Connor Bellerin come into this ball game to try to close things down in the 9th inning. But Firebirds offense comes to life late in this ball game as well and puts up again a 3 spot in the 8th inning as the Firebirds move to 16-11-3, 11-6 at home. They have now won 2 in a row and are now 10-3-3 against the West. After back-to-back games getting rained out and lightning out, the Firebirds come back with a win. And that's awfully tough to do sometimes when you go 2 days after having 2 scheduled games, you warm up and everything, and then you don't even play a game. So it's awfully tough, but the Firebirds were able to do it all with the bats and the pitching. And, well, the pitcher who gets the win tonight, and Jake Eater is now alongside Scotty Gage. So, Scotty, we're going to send it over to you in studio. Scotty.
Thomas, thank you, man. Here with Jake Eater, the Birds baller of the game. 5 innings pitched, no runs allowed. That makes 10 innings pitched with no runs allowed for you on the season. But tonight, how great did you feel on the mound?
I felt good. I mean, everything was, and I was getting ahead of guys, so that was the key tonight, I think.
3 home runs by the Firebirds offense. How much better does that make you feel when you're thrown up there when you've got the offense behind you?
I mean, it's nice to have. Anytime you can get, 3-4 runs behind you when you're pitching, I mean, it allows you to kind of settle in and just kind of feel your stuff and not have to worry about, the offense not producing. So
I know you hit 96 up on the scoreboard there. You hit 96 miles per hour tonight, and you won that bet, so you got the free burrito off your friend.
Yeah.
When you're throwing heat like that and you're just in the zone, how does it feel?
Anytime like you kind of settle in, you're throwing your fastball and you're feeling good, and then you go 0-2 on a guy, and you're kind of flowing. You just kind of juice it up right there and feel good. So
I bet it feels real good. 6 Ks tonight. I know each time it just gets a little bit better. You have a lot of fun tonight.
Oh yeah. I mean, anytime you can go out and compete, have fun. That's the name of the game, is have fun. So I just try to keep it light and have as much fun as I can out here. So.
Well, congratulations to you. It was fun to watch for sure. Jake Eater, the Birds baller of the game. Thanks for the time, man. Really do appreciate it. Thomas, he was fantastic tonight. We're going to send it back to you. I know you've got the other star of the game, but Jake Eater, what a fantastic performance. 5 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts. Absolutely amazing for Jake Eater tonight.
Thank you, Scott. Our other Bird ball of the game, and Rob Emery. Rob, thank you for joining us here on the Birds Broadcast Network. And Rob, you hit your first home run since June 12th against Brewster. How'd it feel to get back in the home run column tonight?
Oh, it felt great. Just felt good to put a couple good at-bats together, and he luckily, got up 1-0 in my first at-bat. He hung a curveball, and I didn't miss it. So it felt good to get the offense going early for our man Jake Eater, so he could, just go out and chuck like he did, and it felt good to get a win here.
It definitely did. Always a good day when you put up 2 points in the win column, but also at home. Just backtrack a little bit here. The last 2 days, you guys get to the field, you warm up, you play about 2.5 innings in Chatham, and yesterday in Harwich, you warm up, and then you don't even play. What's the mentality like that when, you warm up now a 3rd day in a row, and the prior 2 days, you don't even play. So then, now the 3rd day, you actually do get to play. How do you guys try to stay loose and on the mental side of that?
I mean, I think the rainouts honestly help you stay loose, because at some point you just get to the ballpark and start having fun. You see the weather isn't too great, or you play a couple innings and then you're just kind of sitting around, and that's really quality time with your teammates. And it's frustrating as a player because you want to get out and play, but it's been good for the team to bring the team together, get us to be able to spend a little time together without necessarily having to worry about how we're performing. And it showed today. I think we played loose. The bats, it speaks for itself. Put up 8 runs in the Cape Cod League. You're doing a lot of good things, and we came out, played clean defense, and got a win.
3 home runs as well. You obviously mentioned before you hit one, Bryn hit one, and Escala hit one as well. So the bats are really swinging away throughout this game. And your dad was in the ballpark tonight. You know, he took kind of a little hiatus and now has made his way back to Cape Cod. And you know how it's just awesome, I guess, to see. You know, from you obviously growing up, you see your parents and your dad going to all the ball games, and now you may go up to the collegiate ranks. And now the Cape Cod League, your dad's at the ball game. What's it like to have him here watching you, and especially you hitting a home run tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true, any way you slice it, but especially with him being here, it's just awesome. I mean, you know, he's been with me the whole way. We started coming to these games, and this is really baseball at its best. I mean, you got, on average, you know, about 8 big leaguers playing a game, and you look out on this field and there's 50 people hanging out, you know, getting autographs and really interacting with everyone. You can't replicate that anywhere. So yeah, it's special, no doubt.
Well, definitely is special. And just before we let you go, we'll go to the big at bat in that 8th inning. You know, Bourne comes up in the top of the 8th, scores 3 runs. You come up in the bottom of the 8th inning with a chance to drive in a couple runs, and you slap a 2-run RBI double down the left field line. What did you see in that AB going in?
Well, I got down 2 strikes like I had my last 2 at-bats. Thought I could put a good at-bat together. My 3rd at-bat, ended up fighting off a couple pitches and ultimately striking out. He threw a good slider. So, I mean, I just wanted to fight pitches off, and I got up on the plate because he's throwing his slider a lot. Ended up trying to come in on me with the fastball, and I was on time. Thankfully got enough barrel on it to dump it down the left field line. Really just trying to put a ball in play. I wouldn't say trying not to strike out, but just trying to make something happen. You know, so it felt good to have that one fall, and you put the ball in play, good things happen. So there you go.
Exactly right. Good things can happen when you put the ball in play, and ended up leading to an 8-3 victory for the Firebirds. So guys are down 1-2 in a row. Rob, thank you for joining me here.
Yeah, my pleasure, Thomas. And I'd also like to say hello to Aunt Lori and Uncle Joe. If you guys are listening, I sure hope you are, and I can't wait to see you guys soon. Love you guys.
Thanks, Rob. Aunt Lori and Uncle Joe, I'm sure they're listening out there. Another fantastic game by Rob Emery again, highlighted by a home run 2 for 4 with 3 runs driven in. As it looks like Scotty Gange is back on the first base side with Trevor Niscara. Scotty, over to you.
Thomas, appreciate it, buddy. Here with Mr. Home Run tonight, Trevor Niscara. That was fun to watch. You have fun tonight?
Yeah, definitely. It's always fun to win.
So you just told me that it's nice to kind of feel like you're getting back into that groove. You were definitely in the groove tonight, the deep fly home run. You were mashing balls really all night long. What felt different tonight, if it was anything?
Things were just clicking. I was just reacting to pitches more and trusting my swing, and got some good swings off and rewarded myself for that, yeah.
A big win for the Firebirds tonight at home in front of a big crowd. To be with all these guys that I know you've gotten really familiar with now, you know, being several weeks into the season for you, how cool is that to really stamp your name on this win?
It's awesome. It's a good group of guys out here too, so however I can help the team win is awesome. It feels good, and I mean, I love winning, and I love helping the team win too, so yeah.
Hey, your roommate Jake Eater, he wasn't too bad tonight either. 5 innings, scoreless, 6 Ks. What can you say about him?
Stud. I mean, watching him pitch is awesome. It's fun to watch, and he's just locked in, and yeah, just good overall. All the time, yeah.
Brother, the Thompson residence was feeling it tonight. We got a home run on your end, 5 scoreless innings on his end. Is there going to be some type of celebration tonight?
Oh, we're attacking some ice cream tonight for sure.
Hey, get to it, man. Thanks so much for the time. Really do appreciate you. They're attacking ice cream tonight. I hope every night. I'm going to try to do the same. Trevor Niscara, Thomas, we'll send it back to you, man.
And thank you, Scotty. So we'll take a look around the scoreboard while we have some time here on the Birds Broadcast Network. So Falmouth currently tied at 4 right now at top of the 8th inning at Spillane Fields. Again, they took game 1 of that doubleheader. Brewster, they're defeating the Anglers 9-1 tonight. Harwich defeating Whitey 9-4. Kettlers poured on against the Harbor Hawks. They defeat Hyannis 15-5. Then our final score here at Eldridge Park. Firebirds 8 and Bourne 3. As we continue our coverage here of the Firebirds on the Birds Broadcast Network, as Scotty Gange is going to be back on the first base side, along with our special friend over there, Scotty, alongside Brendan King, our former Birds broadcaster Scotty
Yeah,
Russ, send it to
baby.
you.
Okay, Thomas, you talked to our guy Brennan King earlier today, but it's my turn in the Bird's Eye View postgame show. First off, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for having me, Scotty. Appreciate it, man.
It's fantastic. The Firebirds got a win. You're in town. You feeling all right?
Feels great. Feels great to be back here in Orleans. I mean, the last time I was here, it was just off a playoff run as they played Yarmouth Dennis. That was back in 2016, so it's crazy. It's been 3 years.
So 2016 to 2019, we're in now. What's different about Eldridge, if there's anything?
Absolutely nothing. Other than the new scoreboard, everything's much of the same. I mean, it was awesome catching up with Bob O'Donnell, Elaine Brickman, Nancy Nicholson, Sue Horton. I mean, it was great to see everybody, and obviously great to catch up with Tommy Z. Great that he's the broadcaster, and he carries on a great tradition here.
He really does. It's fantastic to talk with him every night. I hope he's listening because Thomas is great. We'll talk trash about him once we go off air and the microphone's off.
You guys
of course.
do a great job, though. You guys are doing a great job.
Well, thank you. We have lots of fun. It's fantastic to have you in here. The 2016 team you covered was stellar. The 2016 media team was stellar too. But how about the Firebirds in 2019 on the field? They're looking pretty good. What'd you see out of them tonight?
They look really good. It all started with the starting pitching, and they got a great effort from the bullpen as well. And this looks like a good club that can compete. And really the big thing about the Cape League, I think I've noticed in years of watching it now, is that if you can have a decent regular season, you can win some games, have some fun, you can enter the playoffs with some momentum. Those are usually the teams that are going to go win. I mean, Yarmouth Dennis, they had that three-peat. I think that was the big thing from the YD teams is they just got hot at the right time. They're able to sweep a couple teams and go win the titles.
You never really know what's going to happen, especially in the Cape League. All these stars out here, and it's so fun to watch. But for you, tonight, the most important question I could ever ask you, did you have fun tonight?
It was really weird watching the game from a non-broadcast side, but it was great. I mean, being next to the guys and getting to take in a Firebirds game, I made sure to kind of go around the ballpark a little bit to take some glances at the ball game that I haven't been able to before. I've never been able to watch a game on the hill or anything like that, so that was a little bit different, but a lot of fun too.
That's really, really cool. We're going to let you close the show, and Thomas is going to be jealous because you get the duck tonight. Yeah, it's a big deal. I know, it's a big deal. You gotta shine it up there. See, he got the duck. Thomas has gotten the duck before, but you get the duck, right?
I'll tell you what, this is going to go right in the South Bend Cubs broadcast booth.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Wow, it's going to the South Bend Cubs broadcast booth. Come on now, are you kidding me? I'm losing my words. I'm feeling great. There's Firebirds everywhere. I'm going to let you close the show, the Bird's Eye View postgame show on the Birds Broadcast Network.
This is the Bird's Eye View postgame show on the Firebirds Baseball Network.
The Birds Broadcast Network.
Birds Broadcast Network. I got it.
There we go.